actually...
Okay, now you should be able to hear us. Sorry,
Oh.
I screwed up. Yes, I do this a lot. I'm sorry. This is the SSA R6 League. This is Ascend versus Nixa. Here we go. No further ado, let's go.
Were we both on mute then? That's
Yes,
unfortunate.
yes. Quick intro, all sorted. Nothing happened.
Okay, well, just getting back into it, we're just watching the bands here. What I was saying while we were unfortunately on mute there is this is kind of an exciting matchup for me because there's a lot of former teammates playing against each other here now. Slybutter and Ergo on the side of Ascend, whilst on the side of Nixa you've got Dropshot, Kaiko, and Sandals. Well, yeah, Sandals. So they've all been, in some form or another, been teammates with each other at one point in time. And I know there is also a little bit of beef between some of these players, so it's kind of an interesting matchup for me here.
We love drama in South African R6.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of drama here, but maybe, hopefully the chat should be a little bit clean. What's quite interesting though is Thatcher's actually on the board.
Yeah, this is one of... I was going to try and like pan over this and not say anything for the first moment, but Lion, Iana, and Mozzie on Oregon. Not only do you have all of the hard breaches, you've got Thatcher, and, well, there's one more defensive slot. I'd assume a mirror, but that means you've got a Cade,
There's no
you've got
sound
a
on
Bandit.
stream.
Yes, it's been fixed. Thank you so much. Oh, we're in general. We should probably move to the casting lounge. Alpha,
That would
let's
be a
quickly move.
good idea.
Okay, there we
Good
go.
idea,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, now everything should be sorted. Getting back to the bands, Mirror the final one. We were right in the prediction, but just looking at this is one of the weirdest band phases I have seen, especially
Yeah.
for Oregon.
I think, well, if I look at this, okay, yes, for Oregon it's very weird. You got Thatcher on the board, which means defense is going to be a lot more difficult. But at the same time as well, that Lion's gone. I'm telling you now, that's Nixa trying to make sure what happened to them yesterday. I don't know if you saw that match.
I was not able to catch the other stream. Let us know what happened.
Yeah. Well, for anyone who did watch that match, they'll be able to confirm this. Lion was causing chaos to Nixa. Every time they wanted to move, especially poor Kaiko, I managed to catch it for him at one point on the stream. Every time those Lion scans came out, one of the roamers died. It happened every round to Nixa, and what even got even worse is the Lion scans were being timed with flashbangs to make it even worse. So I think Nixa have just decided they don't want to deal with that again. Get rid of that Lion.
Okay, that's fair. Target ban, all good. But why the Iana? Why the Mozzie? These are some weird bans from his end.
I think the Iana is maybe I think again that might be to do to what we saw yesterday as well, because I'm pretty sure Nixa was constantly playing a combination of Ashe and Iana on their fraggers, Dropshot, and Sandals.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I understand this ban phase. It makes sense, but it's just weird within the realm of what usually happens. Just to preface this, it's not like this is something completely unseen. These things happen. It's just not often, and especially not in games like these where it's been quite a while since we've seen some South African R6 Series action.
Yeah, no, it's been a while, and we're not seeing what we'd be expecting. We're seeing strange bans like this. Like, as you said, yes, the bans are fully justified if you think about it, and if you have the inside knowledge, but at the same time, you look at this, if you didn't have that inside knowledge, you look at this and you think, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so quite strange to me, at least, that they're not going down below. I mean, Elbow and Blue is kind of free, given you have the Cade, you have the Bandit, you still have all of these operators. I guess maybe top floor is a bit more comfortable, but an extension here down below using Passive Barricades and Mute Jammers, possibly going to go into security as well. Seems like an interesting strategy.
So this extension, I believe they're actually doing it so that Castle should end up actually making some vertical holes that they're going to use. By doing this and using the right vertical holes, they can actually stop people from jumping into the double window, which has been a common strat we've been seeing and meta that we've seen develop over time. I believe it actually originated in APAC.
Yeah, and especially...
It
might have been in APAC, but to me at least, most prevalent in, what do you call it? LATAM? Sorry, completely blanked on that one.
Yes, LATAM,
where
yeah.
a lot of teams would just go for a big window take. That's all they do. Screw master bedroom, screw attic. They literally just go for a single push, jump in, all good. You take the bomb site from there. But that's not what Ascend is doing. They realize, okay, maybe there's a bottom floor roam contingent. Well, if we just take from master bedroom, we're fine because we have the Thatcher, we have the Ace, all of the hard breaches on the board. We can just open up this main wall and put pressure onto the bomb site.
Stand by to witness
And that's exactly what they're doing, as we saw the third Thatcher EMP go out and actually do its job. So Kaiko's here, he's going to be trying to waste as much time as he can there, dealing a little bit of damage with Ergo there, not too much being done either way there. But I believe that was the second Thatcher EMP that just went off.
Yes, I think it was, and now Sandals actually putting a bit of pressure onto the main breach, realizes he is in a sticky situation, he has to move, the Mucham is delaying them for a tiny bit, but the first kill coming out from Kaiko, Sly Butter to answer onto drop shot, the first trades coming through, now a collapse has to happen on this bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, they push their way through there. They do have the wall open, so the potential is here, but the question is, can they get past these crossfires? Kaiko finding 1, 2, and now Glory does manage to find Figure, bringing it to 2v3 for his team here, but Slybutter and Glory are going to have to go big, trying to beat these crossfires they got. Kaiko, I do believe he's even watching that diffuser possibly from this little position there.
Yeah, and now's just the retaliation moment where you see what is still in your hands. What can I use to get onto this bomb site? They've lost the diffuser. They need to go and retrieve that. Now, they do. But he gets killed himself. Kaiko with the quad kill. He knew exactly where that was dropped, and he punishes him for it. Left in the 1v2. It's not impossible, but it's going to be a hard ask. 50 seconds on the clock. The ARX.
50 seconds left.
Not a good gun. 20 ammo in that capacity.
He's going to have to put some work in here. Obviously, Kaiko did have a perfect eye on that diffuser, but they aren't actually doing it. But they're just holding the crossfire here. One watching the wall, other one watching the door. No matter where Slybutter goes, he's going to have to win at least one engagement here to force his way in. Off angles being held, some gunshots come through, but it doesn't actually do anything. And finally, Fish closes out the round for his team, putting Nixa 1-0 on the board.
I mean, he had to force at least 1v1 and take it from there. Couldn't get the first.
Yeah.
Just lost it out. I mean, that round really came down to the late phase for me. Ascend. They got the breach open. They lost out in terms of the trades, yes, but it was still clutchable. They still could have made it had he not died picking up the diffuser. Kind of sad to see, but still a good round for both teams nonetheless. It's a good opener for me.
Yeah, no, good opener there. Got to give it to Kaiko. He played the attic brilliantly. He didn't give up that position. He kept holding it, and then he even realized, oh, the diffuser's there. I'm just going to keep holding that, and that managed to allow him to get a man advantage for his team there by killing Glory and putting Slybutter in an awful situation.
Yeah, so heading into the second round, going down to laundry and supply room, I said, for me at least, that is the preferred bomb site, but you got to keep in mind, they've got the Flores, they've got the Twitch, they've got a Thatcher on the board. It's gonna be chaos and destruction coming down from this elbow doorway.
It's a lot harder to try and hold the site if Thatcher's on the board and you've got all this other utility you can use to clear it. Because that means, one, if you're trying to hold that little basement area where you normally see smoke shields, ADSs aren't going to survive there. They're going to go extremely quickly. So that means the shield's a lot easier to burn. As you can see, we've got Ash on the to get rid of Ash, Ergo on the Ash there, so that means that shield's pretty much going to die instantly. And as well, if you're trying to come from the freezer side, again, you've got the same problem of how are you going to keep any utility alive in there?
And especially
Ascend.
So the nades are going to come through, yes, but they've also got these Kona stations, so at least that's going to provide them a bit of HP.
Yeah.
During the LPS game yesterday, we saw players go for spawn peaks, survive on about 1 HP, and just get back to full HP. That is the power of the Kona stations, and I think, especially with this blue extension, once you bait out those first nades, they've got 3 reinforcements in back pocket. They can just pull off, play the default strategy, and just reinforce it later into the round, retaliate, get their HP back up and play it into the late phase. So still to see what is going to happen, but the take for the time being doesn't seem like it's centered from around elbow. They're going more for this outside west side of the map take.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is I don't actually see a lot of drone work coming out here, unless I've missed the drones entirely, but that doesn't matter because Sandals has actually found the opening kill into Ergo. Maybe the drone was needed there, but that means now they're at a man disadvantage, and that's the Ash off the board, meaning they're going to be relying solely on that Flores to get rid of all the utility that they need to clear.
Rotero drones sailing on through into Freezer, but there's nothing to find. No real utility in Freezer. Spots the shield, but doesn't even survive the journey there. Sandals in a very sticky situation. Could find himself more, or he could find his grave. Does damage onto Glory, but escapes with his life. Not in purgatory just yet. Believe something just opened up the main hatch. That's the exothermic charge detonating, but these players are falling left, right, and center.
Kaiko using that C4 quite well and trying to just baiting out his utility here. We saw Kaiko go huge in the first 2 maps yesterday. I believe he actually top fragged for his team in both rounds. both maps, I believe, and he's done the same thing here, but this time Slybutter shuts him down, saying, no, you're not going to use any more C4s, waste our time here. And with that, they've actually got the half of the freezing controller they need, but the 1-eye is still sitting there.
Sandals is still a big X factor for the side of Nixa. He's actually going to opt to come back down. This is a single-faceted attack. They're only coming from Freezer. Knowing that, they know if they hold more crossfires onto Freezer, they are more likely to win this, rather than just going for a flank. And you see, that's what they're doing. They've got the Kona stations. They can sit in place. They've got smoke canisters. 3 of them in back pocket. They can deny this for oh so long. Sure, they might still have Roteros to nade out those shields, but these spots are going to be so much more difficult to play. The Rotero finds one, but a refrag from the smoke canister from the grave. He finds the answer back, now left in the 2v2.
This is looking a bit dire again for Ascent here. Yes, they've got 2 people against, Slybutter and Glory again trying to clutch it up for their team here against Figure and Sandals, but the problem now is they're trying to, as you said earlier, they're trying to get through crossfires here. They've got a doorway, but to get to the doorway, they've got to move through this crossfire over here, the hole. How are they going to get past that? It's simple, they have to get a kill into Sandals, and Slybutter, he does it. Now suddenly they've got a way in, one's in, but Figure brings it back to the 1v1 here, 10 seconds, Glory has to make a move here, he either has to start planning or he has to find Figure. Because if he gets caught with his pants down here, there's nothing to be able to do. 3 seconds left on the clock, but he has an engagement with Figure, but Figure wisely chooses to run. Letting the time run out.
Whiffs the shot, but it doesn't matter. The Twitch can't connect and both the players stay alive, but when that happens, the defenders win. So, 2 rounds on the board for Nixa. Really well played by them, just sitting in place, knowing they can delay, knowing they can play on time, just sitting and waiting. And I have to comment. Ascend. Even during the last 20 seconds, during the execution, they had the Twitch holding the hatch. They didn't know whether a flank was coming. They didn't have drones to hold their flank. You said during the first phase of the round, you didn't see any drones, and they lost a player because of that to the Jaeger. One of the biggest things in Rainbow Six Siege is drone work, is team play, is playing off of each other, and I kind of see that lacking for Ascent. That needs to pick up in the rounds to follow.
Yeah, it needs to pick up, because at the end of the day, if you want your Ash to come in entry frag, so Urgo's going to be constantly finding those engagements. He's the one that's entering that building first. You need to give him that intel. He needs to know what is he coming into. Just trying to blindly face check everything is not going to work. It's going to put them at a man disadvantage there, and who knows, maybe if they had Urgo alive in those last 20 seconds, suddenly they could have had a very different situation. Maybe suddenly they could have had someone to instantly refrag Figure as he managed to get the kill onto Slybutter when Slybutter pushed through the breach.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight always 2020. You can say as many things as you want prior to a round happening, but in the moment, a bit of confusion, a bit of disjointed comms, maybe a lot of factors playing into it. But just taking a quick look at the setup, it's going to be meeting and dining, not extending into... What is this room called again? I always forget what it's called.
No, that is dining, I believe, and this is the church that you're looking in here.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
So this is a meeting hall kitchen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I was about to say, surely they reinforce this wall. They do have enough left to actually do that, so all of the commentary is null and void. But an extension here with a shield into shower hallway, just to put a bit of pressure. I don't think they're actually going to stick too hard into that, because if you look, they're not holding on to showers, they're not holding on to dining. But Kaiko, he's holding on to his life. Takes out Urgo.
That was from the hatch, so again, I think Urgo didn't get the intel that he was needed there, because that was from up above. A drone should have spotted that, and Urgo should have known not to try and peek that, because that's not a gunfight you win easily. But Snowman up here is starting to do util work up above. With this side, it's incredibly important that you get that vertical control, because you can that hatch that you were looking at right there, you can control the entire site just from sitting on that hatch.
Drop shot, we know how scary of a player he can be, but he's had 2 drones spot out his position just now, so he has to be wary. He doesn't really know where they're coming from. He knows that the wall's been breached and that there might be one in Trophy. Other than that, he knows nothing. He knows, though, that one swings and does a bit of damage to himself. He needs to get out of this situation as quick as possible. That, or frag your way out. Frag's coming through. The fuse swings, but he loses his life to that. The nade sailing on through. They just can't remove him from this position.
He's just not giving up. He just wants to say, no, this is my place. Get out my bedroom. You're not welcome. I didn't invite you in. And he gets a second beautiful shot there onto Sebi. Slybutter getting down on the crossfire between Kaiko and Dropshot there. And finally, Kaiko brings it back to a flawless round. 3-0 on the board for Nixa. What a play there by Dropshot. Absolutely just holding it there for his team.
You know, the B10 Roni recently had a recoil nerf. That doesn't matter when you hit your first shot. Recoil doesn't matter. Dropshot, disgusting on the top floor. Well done to him and well done to Nixa. They didn't even really have to hold on to the main bomb site. All of the engagements happened upstairs. And that is what you like to see. I mean, a lot of the times, teams, especially here in South Africa, they play this onion playstyle where they would hold onto a position and rather fall back when they get pressured. Not Nixa and not Dropshot. They go for the kills in those engagements.
Dropshot didn't care. He just said, I didn't invite you into the bedroom. Get lost. And that's what he did. Hitting absolutely beautiful shots there. Just guaranteeing, making that Ascend couldn't get the control that they needed. And it just turned into a slaughter when Kaiko showed up.
I don't know whether they burnt the midnight oil in preparation or whether this is truly just a raw playstyle that we are seeing. But either way, it's going the way of Nixa. And just pulling back, looking at the grand scheme of this game for a quick moment, Oregon traditionally defender-sided. If Ascend can pull it back now during the second phase of their attacking half, do you think there's still a possibility for them to...
Well, realistically, if I look back to my coaching days and I'm on the stand right now, I'll be saying to the boys, listen, boys, yes, we know this isn't optimal, but at the end of the day, we only need 2 rounds before we go into the next half. Then we'll be fine. So they're just looking to get at least 2 rounds. Less than that, you're a little bit worried. More than that, absolutely great for them.
The optimist mentality.
Yeah. It's really just looking into what do we need. And right now, Ascend, realistically, needs to get 2 rounds. But the way they're playing right now, it looks like it's going to be a struggle just to get 1 of them.
Slybutter, you've said a few times, I believe it was Slybutter or Urgo. No, it's Urgo that's been the opening death quite a few times. Traditionally a player that can show up, but I feel like he hasn't had the intel, like you pointed out. His team not really droning in for him. As an entry fragger, the one thing you need is intel, and well, he'll gather that for himself. Maybe realizing, well, the only man I can truly trust is myself, bit of a self-centered point of view, but hey, let's see if it works out for him, because he has spotted out the bandit, he knows where that player is. Pops out the Ash charge, might just jump in early for this one.
Ops not to. I think he heard the footsteps in the Maestro. I believe. Oh, yeah, he heard the Maestro's footsteps there. Very smart decision not to jump in at that moment.
Yeah, the Elder, not something you just want to face check. Oh, and that's what happens when you face check an Elder.
That was not a good time to peek that window for okay, their Slybutter unfortunately dropping out of the game, meaning now it's all down to the 3 remaining members of Ascend. Sebi still yet to find a kill on the board himself. He's running around on the ace, but he finds his first one onto Fish. Very important kill there to help even out the man count a bit. But at the end of the day, it's like you said, they still got to try and get past that Elder. And there's still the gun of Dropshot, Sandals, and Kaiko running around. Kaiko's going huge this game from his team here.
They're still just sitting pretty, waiting, debating, and getting these kills. Snowman to fall. It's just Sebi and Glory to try and rekindle that flame. But my oh my, has this been a spectacular round for the side of Nixa. C4 comes out, doesn't connect onto anything, but Sandals with the UMP finds Glory. This is all but a done deal as one player on the outside trying to find a bit of a GN. The AK-12's recall proving a bit too much for Sebi, but hey, what can you do in a situation like that? Nixa with an absolute tear.
The shots that I'm seeing get hit today, it's like a different Nixa. Anyone who watched the match yesterday will know. Nixa did not look good. It looked like they were struggling. It looked like there was a lack of teamwork. This Nixa that I'm seeing now, this is the Nixa I was expecting to see when I was told what the roster was going to be. I was expecting to see guys like Dropshot go huge, same with other guys like Kaiko and Sandals, and now I'm finally starting to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you were the one that commentated yesterday's game versus Exhale, a team that many would consider a middle-of-the-pack team. They kind of struggled in the second map. Do you think that was maybe them just losing their footing for one game, or was that signifying of more to come, of a few flaws in their defense?
I think, it was a combination of Nixa having quite a few flaws in their defense, but as well, I think not to turn down Exhale, because Exhale showed up hugely in the second map. So not to speak ill of them, they did great. But I think as well, it was a combination of Nixa are still an extremely new roster. This is actually only their second ever match as a team.
Always some kinks that you have to iron out.
Yeah, exactly. There's always kinks that sometimes those kinks can take months just to iron out. So maybe we're just seeing something they just found some synergy with each other that they didn't have yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, synergy there is 4-0 at this point in time. Seems like nothing can stop the Nixa train. Didn't actually catch where the bomb site is now, but going back down below. This was the one bomb site that I think came down to the wire. The rest of them, for me, has kind of been a whitewash. Let's see what Ascent can do on this attack.
Yeah, like you said, it's been a whitewash. Here, last time we went there, for the people that don't remember or didn't witness it, we saw Slybutter being able to get a crucial kill onto Sandals, meaning that it became a 2v1, but Figure was able to run down the time for his team. I think there was a bit of a mistake on the side of Glory there for not actually planting in that round. But they did slowly get the territory they needed, but Slybutter again having a disconnect, so I think maybe there's a bit of an internet problem here here that they don't want.
Just quickly want to communicate with the players. A rehost is possible when the round phase hasn't actually started, the actual phase of the round. Okay, apparently they're fine with it. They're just going to play this in a 4v5. Quite sad because, like you said, this is the one bomb site where we feel they actually have a chance to come back, but yeah, this is kind of sad.
Well, it's become more and more important now for Ergo to actually start going big. We know from past experience with him, we've seen him for years in the scene, since back in his days before OG, where we saw huge plays come out of him and that Ash R4C. He knows his way around. He just needs to find something so that he doesn't keep getting shut down first, because I believe he's actually been the first death in every round so far.
Yeah, 0-4 at this point in time. Like you said, I believe truly opening day, if that's not a stat that you want to boast outside, because being the opening def is never a good sign for your team or for the game in general. It's an audio procs on the roof, doesn't look like he spots it just yet. Takes out with the R4C, whiffing a few times, but takes care of it nonetheless. Though, his position given away. One player down below in Harry Potter and one at Shaiko Pillar, ready and waiting. They take the gunfight, they do damage onto the Ash, but he escapes for the time being with his life. Opts to run away. He doesn't want to be the opening death again.
I like the fact that he doesn't seem fazed with the fact that he's been opening death. He knows that it's just unfortunate. Maybe in his head it's been bad situations for him, but he's going to get into an encounter with Sandals. It doesn't seem like he actually knows Sandals is there. He does a lot of damage to Sandals, but he does get down as Sandals finds some reinforcement from a fellow teammate there. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Glory who actually came here. I thought was Sandals' teammate. He is aware that Sandals is there, but they are all looking a little bit hesitant. I don't think they know what to do here.
They've got control of meeting, but without control of main, what can you do? As well, the Goyo rotating up, coming into meeting stairs now. On the prowl, on the lurk. Slinking on up. They don't know of his position. Surely he finds one, maybe two. Finds the sledge immediately on the refrag, equalized out into a 2-on-3. Sandals still up here waiting. I don't think they know about his position. Could be very dangerous.
This is what I was talking about earlier with the drone work. Like, Sandals was sitting in that classroom for very long. That should have been droned out before Ergo even tried pushing into the building. But here we've got Sebi trying to push his way down the stairs. Both members of Ascend are actually trying to push their way down. They've managed to get Fish to very low HP. This could be winnable. 2v2 here, Sandals also on low HP. This could actually become winnable for them as they can just get the territory they need. But unfortunately, Sebi doesn't check his corners. He is still in a position to be picked up, though. Just a question of, what does Glory do? He's got 20 seconds left. He's got to make a decision here.
Not too many options. 15 seconds. You need to make a move and make it quick. Finds one on the trade, but can't get the kill just yet. Nixa, another round on the clock. And just quickly, I want to commend the ace. He dropped the diffuser before he took the gunfight with the player in Harry Potter. That is what I call teamwork and consideration.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's a good thing to do, yeah. It's a good habit to build up, not just in comp, but everywhere. You should be doing it in ranked as well. Because that was not a favorable gun sight for the ace. Yes, he was able to win it, but it's not favorable. Realistically, the last thing you want now is that diffusers be lying in a spot where Glory can't get it.
Yes. Well then, 5-0. One away from match point.
5-0. One away from match point. Ascend desperately need to try and get one round on the board before they can get themselves into this. They're still having a lot of problems with Slybutter not being able to connect here. This is unfortunately not what they need for themselves here. They're going to have to pull something out the bag. they're really going to have to help Ergo here. Ergo has actually gone to the Amaru, and the 6 pick's going to Snowman here, so that means Ergo is going to have... I'm going to be... I hope Ergo can do something big for his team here, because if he dies to the entry death again, I can't think of any way that Ascend are bringing this back.
Ooh, the Capcan, the biggest threat to any Amaru main. As well, he's got the sausage. With a silencer. With no scope on. I don't know what this man is playing at, but he is playing at something that I like.
Maybe there's some hidden strat or meta.
There is no hidden source. This is just pure memeing. I'm sorry to
just pure memeing at this point. Unfortunate. I'm hoping Ascend can do something now though. Realistically, all they need to do is I think they just need to get some drones in the right places and actually give Yoga that intel. We've seen him go massive in the past. Because right now, he's not getting what he needs, and he's just getting killed by it. Constantly getting shot down before he can even make a play happen.
Ogo now. All eyes on him. What does he decide to do? G8. Capable gun in the hands of a capable player. He's been lacking this game, but what can you show us? Keep us entertained, please, I beg.
Do you think he's... I think he's just going to go straight into the window here. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it.
I hope
no,
so.
It doesn't look like he's going to do that. Mate, I can't think what he's actually planning to do here, because if he's not trying to come through a window here, I think he's just... Only other thing I could think is he's chosen for the G8, but then why not choose IQ?
Oh, he's ready for this one.
Oh, he's going to be
all
rushing
of them
straight into the window.
Camped outside of the window, punches on through. He's not ready, but the C4 is ready. Finds one. Can he find a second? Yes, he does. Connects onto the third. That is the round for Nixa. In about a 5-second span, they take out player after player. They're on match point.
That was not how I expected that to go down. That C4 just blew the entire plan away. That singular C4 detonating there.
I think that is the quickest I have seen an opening kill in 2-round end. That was literally like 2 seconds. Less.
As soon as drop shots C4 exploded there, the round was over.
Yeah.
Ergo died. The rest of the team is still piling in through the window, not able to actually shoot anyone. That was truly unfortunate for them. Yeah.
Well then, this is their do or die. They're gonna try and go
I actually
down
wish
the
I could,
gauntlet, but yeah.
I actually want the last player who hopped in the window. I want to see his POV of what happened.
Oh, everyone just dying in front of
his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping into the trench, all of them just died.
Yeah, but looking into this now, obviously Ascend with a mountain to climb if they want to try and bring this back. No mistake, they can't afford a single mistake. Man down, not looking good.
Apparently, he is coming back. No threat. He will be back.
Oh.
Yes.
Maybe he'll be back. Oh, he
maybe
won't
this,
get an
maybe this
operator
is the
for this
turnaround
round though.
Yeah, he's not playing this round. He's here in spirit. But if they can convert this round, maybe there's a chance.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah. It could make a difference there. The question is now, are they going to be able to hold out long enough for Slybutter to get back in? Is Ergo finally going to get that kill he's been trying so hard to get until this point?
So then,
big questions are going to have to be answered here.
think a Surge and then Amaru. What a combo.
I would like to talk.
Okay then.
That's not what I was expecting at this point. It looks like it's been Execute coming out here on the side of Ergo.
Saddles finds one. That doesn't really matter though, because Ergo is just having the time of his life.
I think Ergo's just decided he gives up on this map. It's not gone well for him. But
Yeah.
Sandal's just tearing his way through the side. He doesn't care about what Ergo's doing there. He doesn't care. It's all down to Snowman to try and find 5 kills. But Dropshot actually, I think he fell off the rafters there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Snowman, the UMP maestro, what can you do? You can't do anything. It's a flawless round. Nixa take it 7-0. What a game.
What an interesting match. That was very enjoyable, I believe. And yeah, as Glory said, good half question mark. Not really, I don't think what Ascend wanted out of this.
Silences them. They don't wait for anyone. And that is the story of that first map. Next up, I believe we're going to be having Villa. Stay tuned for that. We'll be back in around 3 minutes. Just going to try and get a substitute player in, see what we can do to sort both of these teams out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're back. This time, unmuted. Let's go. It's map 2. It's Villa. Are you excited for this one?
Well, I'm hoping Ascent can actually do something this game because, yeah, that map was a bit of a washover, shall we say. Maybe a bit of an understatement.
I would use stronger words, but this is supposed to be a
Yeah.
PG stream. Harper didn't really keep to those rules yesterday, but we're going to try and keep this PG. So, ban phase, Villa. What do you expect?
Villa, I think one Thatcher's actually going to go off the board this time.
Yes.
Maybe.
Probably.
Ascent are defending, so it makes sense if Thatcher would go off the board. I do think Nixa, again, are just going to ban that Lion just to make sure he doesn't show up. But actually, I am completely wrong, and it's Iana who's gone again.
Why? Like, I mean, why not use it yourself? Like, you've had a problem with droning the entire previous game. Why not keep the Iana for yourself?
The entire previous game, your entry fragger has been getting absolutely domed every time he tries to look at someone because he doesn't know where they are. And again, the Lion ban coming up, maybe.
Yep.
So now I'm thinking, I want to say a traditional ban like Mirror, but I can't even say that because I don't know what to say anymore.
At this point, maybe a Tajanka? I mean, it wouldn't be more wild than the bans we've seen thus far.
I wouldn't be surprised if a Clash ban suddenly comes out.
Oh, please. Spite Bikini Bodhi, but there we go. It's a Mirror. They've returned to the conventional.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna place bets here on the last one being Frost.
I mean, definitely useful on Villa. But
Definitely useful.
Do you think the Pog mats are really that big of a... Okay, the exact same
But
bans we saw in the previous game.
Okay. Clearly, I do not have touch of the scene anymore. Clearly, 4 months away has just made that I have no clue of what's happening anymore.
Or the players don't have touch with the scene, because these bans...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, either one of the two. Either we have no clue what's going on anymore, or the players have no clue of what the meta is, and we're just seeing something completely different here. But it looks like they're going to be living room and library first. Bit of a bold choice there.
Not a site you see too often. I mean, usually it is Teams' tertiary site. Fair enough. But not as your first site. And the Frost is in play.
Frost is in play. Look, living room and library, I'm not going to lie. I've looked into strats for that. It's got some potential if you can catch the other team off guard. But the problem is that it's a site where you have to be very split with your defense because you can't hold it just on one front. You need to be holding it on top floor and bottom floor, and then it's a big site to try and hold as well, with not enough cover to hold all the angles.
Yeah, and one of the biggest... Wait, I was completely... Okay, it's living room. I thought it was kitchen.
Yeah, living room.
It's living room. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to try and hold it because it's two really big sites, and there isn't any really power positions where you can sit in and watch the entire site from safety. You know, you're kind of at every point you need to be keeping your head on a swivel if you don't have the backup.
And it's like it's just physically such a big bomb site. Look at how far this bomb site spans. One of the big operators that I have to highlight is the R6, the Rima dash, the jump ability. We saw Corza yesterday in their game versus Meraki use this operator to very good usage, and looks like his usage is going to be a spawn peak. I think
This
he has
could
timed
potentially
this up
be.
right.
Defender exposed.
Doesn't look like it because he didn't even do the Rima dash there, so I think he decided, you know what, let me not throw my life away here. And he just ends up wasting his time. He's right underneath the window.
They have a drone on it, but they... Okay, they do spot him.
Oh,
okay,
the
that was
drone
close.
does spot him in
He
the
jumps on through and he finds the kill! I thought surely the Rima dash ability, you can just knock him down, no questions asked, but the Ash wins that. Great play. Showing some balls, drop shot.
Ergo, I'm sorry. I love you. You're my friend, but you're washed at this point if you lost that.
Oh, wow.
But Dropshot just made his way into the site. He finds the second one of Sebi, and he's just tearing his way through the site, but he does get shut down. But how long is it going to be for the rest of his team to start coming through? Because they're all around that site. They're just completely collapsing here. There is actually no one holding the A site anymore.
There is no one holding onto dirt. There is no one holding onto default plants on A. I don't know what they're playing at, but they're getting kills somehow.
So they do find him at Kaiko. I believe he's actually just crouch walked his way into the site there, but he doesn't have the diffuser. That is a slight bit of a problem, but Nixa has picked it up again, so they're going to be trying to find a way here. Kaiko, you playing a lot of these smokes, using them properly here. Slybutter does actually manage to find Kaiko. That means it's going to be a 2v3 post plant here as Snowman tries pushing his way through. But the problem is, as I said earlier, you can't actually physically hold all the spots that you need to from the site without having that vertical. So now they're having to try and do the retakes here, but they don't even know where everyone is. Fish uses it to his advantage and finds Snowman. This means now it's all down to Glory and Slybutter, not knowing where the others are. Figure capitalizes. All done to Glory now. 20 seconds left. He's only got, and it doesn't end the way he wants.
Nixa forcing Ascend's hand. They called their bluff. They said, you're not holding onto this bomb site. Let's pop the smokes. Let's get this plant down and fall back. That's exactly what they did. That's how they win the round. Clinical. And a really good read from the side of Nixa.
I'm still stunned as to what happened to Ergo there. He got absolutely demolished.
Oh, he just got slapped. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was running through his RX brain. Maybe just Rima dash yes. But he just lost that gunfight. Plain and simple.
He got 180'd on. It's not just that he lost the gunfight. He got demolished.
From room, says
But
Sebi.
going back... Assuming that Ergo doesn't make that mistake again, we're now going into round 2 here. Where I don't actually catch what the site was. We'll have to see in a second.
Protect your bombs from being defused
Okay, it's
by
AVG.
attackers.
But more what I'd be expecting.
Traditional.
Yeah. So yeah, what I saw, if you, for the people that don't actually know enough about that site because it doesn't get played ever, that plant spot that Nixa planted in there is the bone standard stock plant spot for, I'd say, for any comp play. And whenever you see it, the reason why you use that spot is because there's actually no way to deny that spot if you're not up above or you just happen to sprint your way into the site.
10 seconds left.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, the Rook had to push up, had to do something, and in the end, it
Yeah.
was too late.
5 seconds
Yeah,
left.
so realistically, and if you get that plant spot off, now you've got another problem of you're trying to
Attackers must
retake
locate and defuse a bomb.
that whole site, and you're then trying to retake the area around it to try and stop them from being able to cover that diffuser. It's an extremely difficult situation there that SM put themselves in. But now you got Slybutter coming out on the Jaeger. Very rare to see him on this ARP. We're gonna have to see what he can do with it. But I don't think anyone actually spawned that side.
Yeah, Nixa actually in chat was baiting him out, saying they're gonna spawn there. They didn't, so call that a bit of BMing if you want, but no, they're in master bedroom. They're making quick work of clearing out this top floor area. There's one player on the down low. It's Ergo. T5 SMG, a strong gun and the strong ability in the Rima dash that he could utilize, but they're gonna opt to just fall back. Not contesting just yet.
I'm surprised they actually got baited by that because Nick said every single attack last playday yesterday, they actually came from this side. So a little bit surprised that they got baited out by that. Ergo even watched the match live. But Snowman finds opening kill into drop shot. That's a big influential kill to find there.
Ooh, a bit of a sticky situation. He knows the player is hard on his right and he's got it. An LMG. You don't lose these gunfights. Takes that one down. Tries to find the lesion, but the T5 SMG wins those close quarter engagements. Trades coming left, right, and center. A double kill for Fega. It's just Sebi and Glory. Sure, they've got cams. Sure, they have got the Yokais, but in a 2v... Oh, it's a 2v2. I somehow missed the second kill, but they still have control of the bomb site, so they can just fall back. They know where these players are. They're getting intel fed, not only from the audio procs, but from these cams. It's looking very winnable.
Yeah, Sebi sitting here with Echo. I'm not sure I'd be holding that angle right there at the moment as we see there. Now the Echo drones are gone. Yes, he's got a powerful gun in that MP5 SD and he's got the 1.5 sight, but I don't think you want to be holding that if you're an Echo. You can rather just sit back, waste time, use your drones. But Glory's going to have to try and find it here as Nixa pushes the way through, but he flicks off at the wrong time, ending in his demise. This means now Nixa 2-0 up on the attack.
That was some of the most unfortunate siege timing I have seen in a while. Flicks off to the what do you call it, library study doorway.
To the door.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Had a chance, honestly. I thought he had a chance, considering they were funneling through a single doorway and they had cams on them. But Unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Look, now if I'm Nixa, let me put it this way: if I'm the IGL in Nixa right now, I'm saying, okay, guys, we've got the 2 rounds we need. This is an extremely defender-sided map, so 2 rounds is already optimal. Anything more than that, that's just bonus. So Ascend really need to get themselves into this game here. It's been what, 9 rounds now that they haven't won a single round.
Yeah, I mean, Nixa truly, they can just swing for the fences. Why not take some chances? It is Ascent who needs to throw down the gauntlet and challenge them. I mean, they are at a back foot. They've lost 9 rounds in a row. If you look at the grand scheme of this game, if you're just joining us, Nixa went 7-0 on Oregon, beating out Ascent in map 1. This is... I don't use strong language a lot during casting because I have had episodes of people calling me biased, but this is truly a whitewash.
Yeah, this is a slaughter here on the side of Nixa. I know we're dealing with high caliber players here, but at the same time, this is what you'd be expecting. If you look at Ergo, he's actually finally got himself a kill, which is good, so he's not going to be repeating that 007, which you saw out of him in the previous map. But Ergo and Slybutter, these were guys who, a couple of months ago, were playing on teams with guys like Dropshot, Kaiko, Fish, and Sandals. So you'd be expecting them to be the ones leading the charge against their former teammates here, but it's just not what's happening.
Sitting, waiting. What can you do? He knows they're on the rappel for library, for study, but just barely. Doesn't find anything. Now, on the main site, he's got the Ashes pistol out. 0 care in this world. Glory escapes with a sliver of HP. You said... Nixa, they have the 2 rounds they need on the attack. Why not throw caution to the wind? Why not just swing onto the bomb site? And that's exactly what they do. They find one. The Ela seemingly completely unaware of their positioning. Spots out the barrel. What are you looking at? A Twitch drone to find the final kill.
I don't know what that Ela was looking at. I wish I knew, because it doesn't make sense to me why she would be looking there when she was being shot at from the left side of the door there.
It was... And it's not like they just left site. I believe there was only one roamer, but it felt like a skeleton crew on site because just a little blow of the wind completely broke them.
I am absolutely in awe here. I have no clue what Ascend are going to do here, because clearly, to me, it feels like they're just outmatched.
You know, I like
Until now...
I like the saying, a broken clock is right twice a day. I use it quite a lot. And I hope that even though they are disjointed, not communicating well, not finding kills, not playing well together as a team, seemingly completely unaware of attacking players' positions, that I pray they can at least get a single round.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Siege match end with 2 7-0s.
I have, and it is not fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
so...
we're not, like, trying to beat them down. We want them to come back. We want to see competitive Siege.
People that don't know this, Ergo is one of my... I consider him a very close friend. Same with guys like Slybutter, I consider him a friend. And when I look at them as well, they're extremely talented players. I've seen people who've been in this community long enough have seen what they can do when they're at their best. But what we're seeing now is not them at their best. So the question is now, what are they going to be able to do to stop Nixa? Because Nixa is just running through them.
I mean, there are a few things you can do in a game Siege where you have a few possibilities at hand. One, you say, screw it, we kind of know we're already going to lose. So you just swing and you get kills and you transfer that into a late round win. That just happened. Yeah. Those tiny things start to pile up if you can make it happen round after round. That's a good opener, and it's a good omen, but you need to carry it through.
Yeah, you do carry that through because, Slybutter getting an excellent kill there. That's also drop shot off the board. Big name, big kill. But you've still got other guys alive here. You've still got to deal with the likes of Figure, who still hasn't died yet this game.
Kaiko in a precarious situation, bit of a quagmire, finds Sebi. And now Snowman, Glory, and Slybot are kind of stuck in this position. Shoots the Frost Mat, but not able to respond quick enough to the actual player. Glory and Slybutter, the plant's going down, my friend. You need to do something about it. He's got 3 smoke canisters left in back pocket, but he's not close enough to rip them. Finds the one, finds the second. It's just Kaiko left now, but he's got the LMG. This is a gun you want in a 1v2 situation. 30 seconds left. He can play time. It doesn't seem they know of his position. They pre-fired through into it earlier, but I believe that was just a bit of a predicting the future, maybe. Doesn't know his situation. Finds him. Doesn't tag him or frag him. Triple kill, and they take a single round.
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen Slybutter go crazy with the SMG?
It's been
And I missed it. And I've missed it. It feels good inside of me to see him do well with that SMG again, but unfortunately that still means that they're still 2 rounds down on the defensive side of the map while they're defending. So this is unfortunately still not a good situation for them. Yes, they have got 1 round better now than what they've done in the previous map, but it's still 2 rounds left. The best they can hope for is a 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, they need to just pile them up. This is where the rubber hits the road. You need to have something happen. You can't just go 0-7 and then say, oh no, we'll bring it back in the 3rd map. That's not how it works. It's a best of 3. 2 maps and you're out of this tournament. Sure, you've still got the league to look forward to. All of these teams that you're seeing today and yesterday have made it into the eventual SSA R6 League, but still, there's a 2,000 rand cash prize that you're playing for. Might as well just try and win it.
Exactly, you might as well just give it a try. These are some interesting mute jammer placements coming out here. This is almost as interesting as
show it on camera.
The other day when whenever sends group stage matches, I still remember coincidentally Sunset managed to click on Ergo as it happened, and he placed a banded battery on top of a hatch.
Oh, I mean, which site? I need context, because in some situations I come back.
So this was Cafe, and it was the hatch that's in the fireplace, by the fireplace, but it doesn't. Looking into the round now, Ergo's been the first frag again.
Well then, action to start it off, and action to continue it in through the round. Glory and Sebi left last alive, make that just Sebi. He's on the site, he's an Echo. Sure, it's a good operator when there's little time on the round, but in a situation like this with the MP5 SD, what can you do? Sprays onto the first, can't even find the Twitch. Yes, he does, but already fragged from the side. It's Nixa keeping the wave, the tidal wave, rolling through this map.
I would just like to point out the round before this. I think I cast a cursed figure because I pointed out the fact that he hadn't had a single death yet, and then 3 seconds later he proceeded to jump into a window and die.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
That is, yeah. But yeah, that means now Ascend 4-1 down on a Villa defense. When's the last time you saw something like that happen?
Who was G2 versus Rogue EUL play day regular season 2020, I believe. There was a game where Villa was won 5 rounds on attack by both teams, and it ended up 6-6. It doesn't happen often, but it does. So maybe this is an attacker-sided Villa, and maybe Ascend can bring it back on the attack, but that is just a dream at this point.
You really just had that memorized in your head, didn't you?
I really did. I don't know, my brain works in mysterious ways. I remember some things like the bomb.
But now that the fact you were so specific helped me remember the match as well, because now I remember that match.
Yeah. that was an amazing match.
I remember exactly which match you're talking about now.
And well, so okay, I'm really just gonna continue on a tangent here. That was the G2 game where like they had to win to actually make it into playoffs, and then they drew and they didn't make it, and then everyone was sad. But
yeah,
let's not talk too much about history. Let's talk about the current standings of the SSA R6 League and this game in Nixa versus Ascend. Snowman ready for a second rush, but nothing to come. Nixa on the ready, prowling here outside of the reading balcony.
the util were coming out very early from them. Not any aggressive actions coming out from the start of Ascend is what we saw in the previous round. And I'd like to point out that Ergo is actually still alive.
You really got to do a man like that. Slybutter loses his life. Figure the first to find. Can they transfer this onto a side take? Yes, they can. So Snowman taking a tad bit of damage, actually from the Selma charges. These players are just falling one after another. 2 players down below trying to use their C4s, but with Kaiko getting the plant down, there is nothing you can do. 1 vaults over his own position, but we've seen kills happen in those situations previously. It is just Ergo, the player that has died first almost every single time, now left to clutch it out for his team. Is this where he redeems himself? I think maybe not, because a 1v3, it's a hard ask. The Twitch holding his position with a pistol at that. A very difficult situation, finds the first, whips out the PMM. A good pistol, yes, but with 30 seconds, is this really what you want to put up your last stand with?
I don't think this is what I would have expected Ergo. Oh no, that is unfortunate timing. Ergo actually managed to he could bring this back. He's still got 10 seconds to play with you to try and find that last kill, to try and get the diffuser, but he doesn't even know where the diffuser is. Kaiko's just sitting around with his pistol, waiting for Ergo to come running around the corner. Less than 7 seconds left. He can't win the round anymore. All he can do is get the kill on Kaiko, and he does, but unfortunately, still a loss for him. He actually started doing something. But
Maybe
at a point in time where... Yeah, but at a point in time where... Just a boost. But unfortunately, that means even though he was able to find the kills that he needed there, played the situation well, his team wasn't able to get the round. 4 rounds down, going onto Nixa's defense. That's a big ask.
What do you do? It's a question I ask a lot, and it's a question I've tried to answer earlier in this game. I say, either you go for these completely mad and wild aggressive gunfights and you try and stack them up, or you return to your basics, just make sure everything is sorted, or, I don't know, you just play something in between. But really, you have to pick one of the 2 extremes, and those extremes haven't been working. They tried playing it safe in the first half of Villa. They tried throwing all caution into the wind during the later phase of their defense. That didn't really work either. So, what do you do?
Right now, if I'm Ascend, yeah, I was gonna say you pull out the Monty, you pull out the Ying, because clearly trying to play it traditionally just hasn't worked. So maybe the solution is to just try and be as annoying as possible. But I see Sandals actually opening up the entire wall here. I'm not sure if this is just meaning or if this is them actually trying to come up with a whole new meta that I've never seen before. But drop shot might just be a spawn pick here from drop shot. He just narrowly misses the shot there. They are aware that he's trying it, but that's not deterring him.
He just keeps going. RG15, the only scope, only pistol with a scope in this game, and it serves him well. But Figure, he lost his life as a result. A little bit of a collateral damage onto him. The Rook joining the fray, trying to find one for himself. A few shots, no tags, no frags. They're just sitting in position. The Monty trying to join in on it, but a shotgun blast from Slybutter finds one. They're making their way onto site. Oh, it's a bot. It's a boss G.
Oh, but that makes me happy. I wish we saw that. Dropshot's been downed as well. This means now, I think this is the first time Ascend have actually seen themselves a man advantage. And Ergo is slowly starting to make his way. He's actually starting to find some frags, something he's been needing to do for his team for a while here. Sorry, I'm having a coffee. You can just take over.
Well then, Fish, he's still got smoke canisters in pocket. 3 of them at that. Sandals, he's got the SMG-11. He's done oh so well with it. Dr. Dropshot, what can you do? You need to find an answer back. They've got the sight. They've got the diffuser. They've got a Monty pushing on through. Dropshot blinking health bars. Finds one. Can he find a second? No, not just yet. Spraying on through. Oh, what can he do? The Monty going for the plant. He's got an Ella Grismot in hand. Those can stop a plant, but not just yet. The Doki taking a tad bit of damage. The Inja at that. This is suddenly looking doable. Dropshot, you've done more crazy things in your life. I wouldn't even be surprised. But there's a Monty. It's the one operator that in a 1 versus X is an absolute nightmare.
You don't want to see Ying's still on the board. I don't think has she used the Candelas? Don't think so. But Monty's just pushing his way up. Drop shot being in an unfortunate situation there. Ascend actually win the first attacking round for themselves. So apparently, the Boss G is the play.
If you want to see some Boss G action, check my Twitter account in about 15 minutes-ish. There's this little surprise for everyone.
Oh, really?
There is a very interesting surprise.
So this is a new season stuff that's coming with the Boss G action yet.
I am not saying anything further than that in fear of infringing the NDA.
Oh yeah, we don't want to play against that.
Yes, please not. So,
but yeah, looking at the round now.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Sorry. Are you good there?
Choking on water. Not my day.
You know, I've trialed quite a few casters, and the one thing almost everyone forgets for like their first few casts is to just have water by your side. It's the most important thing.
But yeah, choking on my water there. Actually, a bit of a stifling a laugh there as well, thinking about the repercussions you would have had if you broken that NDA.
No, can we just swerve away from that? I'm scared.
But looking back into this as well, Ascend 2 rounds on the board, 2 rounds better than their previous map. Can they keep it going? Or is this kind of where we see the end of it? It looks like we're going to have this same Spawn Peak Fiesta coming out in the beginning though.
There's Sandals on a Caveira, maybe not a Spawn Peak, but a lurking down below in the wine cellars. What can he find with this?
Well, I don't think he's going to find much because there's no one coming there.
This is true. Might come up for a flank later on. But Glory, the Blackbeard. An operator you don't see in play too often, but when you do, it is infuriating as hell. That joined by a Ying.
Not with the new nerf though.
True.
But it doesn't stop the team, and Dropshot actually gets killed by Sebi. Good entry there for him. Big kill there to find. Now suddenly Ascend. Snowman just finds Faiko as well, but Sandals is coming his way in here, trying to see what he can do with the Cav. He doesn't find anything. Well, he does find it down, but that doesn't really help because now Figure and Fish on a 2 to 5 disadvantage here. Not looking good for them. Ascend actually starting to pull it back, maybe.
Figure with the Boss G. I hope and I pray that we can see some action from this gun. My, oh my, would it be beautiful. But even more beautiful, Ascend finally making a comeback in this game. You love to see it. Spots out the Ash, tries to go for a first, doesn't find one, goes for the second. Cannot connect either. There's another Boss G joining the fray. Will they take the 1v1 engagement? It's Boss G versus Boss G, and it's the Boss G that wins the attack, that is. It's just Fish left. Finds one. Again, this feels like deja vu in a 1v3. Can he clutch this out? The plant going down. Finds one. That's the Ying. A triple kill on the round. He's going to need an ace if he tries to clutch this out. Completely flashed. Makes the rotate a bit safer. He needs to take these one-on-one engagements, but there is an entire hallway of track stingers in his way. Can he run across them? Gives away his position, gives away the goose. There's a player on his right. Does he know this? He doesn't. And it's Ascend to win out the gunfight.
Okay, so to people who, because I know people can say, oh, we saw him for a second. That right there was how different FOVs look. Because on our screen, I did see the shoulder of the player there when Fish swung the first time. Fish didn't see anything. I'm telling you now, that's because Fish was probably in 4-3 and with a more shallow FOV.
This is true. Nothing to add.
Nothing to add? Yeah. That's just an unfortunate... Yes, people like to play 4-3. You get the advantage of people become bigger. Maybe... sometimes that means they become an easier target to you. But unfortunately, it means you do sometimes have situations like that where what should have been easy intel, you just didn't see them.
Yeah. And Ascend, you're gonna need some diamond hands if you want to bring this back. You're gonna need consistency. You're gonna need power, determination, whatever it may be to bring this through. It's about grind. It's about what does the song say? I can't even remember now.
It's about I don't know the song.
Okay, we're just boomers.
If you can keep it going for a second, I can just try and remember it in my head. No, I got nothing, eh?
Yeah, okay. Pog mats. That's one thing. That's
Pog
what
mats.
that's what the Gen Z says, right? I don't know. I think so.
You're one of them, so you should know.
I'm 18. Don't hate on me. Okay.
Okay.
Before
They're
insertion.
not
an
hating,
old man
just
now
pointing
as
out. Oh, but Figure is actually saying hello to a drone there, it appears. So, first things first, Ascend, 3 rounds on the board.
Attackers are heading out to defuse the
Much
bomb.
better from them. Also, much better to not say that you go 7-0 twice.
A little bit of a boost to the ego, even though Slybotter can't hit the cam.
Yeah. But, that's actually something I've seen a lot of Slybutter, but we'll
Wow.
just gloss over that. It happens. But yeah, so I would like to point out, Ergo has swapped into the IQ, but he's not running the G8.
552 commando. Not a gun to scoff
Still a good
at.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Ella swings
no,
for it.
that
The
isn't.
FO12 wins these. That is the aggression we want. That is how you answer back to a potential comeback from the Ascend train. Shut down, stopped at the station. Drop shot says no more.
Ergo's always life flashed in his eyes the moment he saw that Ella run out the window from that drone.
He knew it
I
was
think he
over.
knew it was dead. Oh, but Slybutter hits a brilliant shot there onto Figure. Just possibly negating the damage. That's actually the warden off the board, but while he's trying to sniff some feet there, Sandals does find him.
These timings are just so unfortunate. Uses the Inox scanner, and just as soon as it happens, he loses his life. Kaiko to find another, make that fish, sorry. As it's just Glory and Sebi standing in the way of a match point scenario.
I would like to point out that yesterday I had a conversation with Ergo about this, and we have come to agreement that the Inox scanner should now be called the Feet Sniffer 9000.
Feet Sniffer 9000 it is.
Yeah, that is the new name that it shall be referred to as. So, but looking back into the round there, it's a little bit over halfway to gone now. Glory and Sebi are going to have to try and claw this back to stop Nixa from getting onto match point, but they haven't even got the territory because Nixa are just attempting to retake it.
Bit of a stick
drop shot does get
situation.
down.
Finds one, finds a second. That's a down. 2-on-2 now. Bit more possible. Maybe not the most possible scenario, but more possible. That is how adjectives work, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Kaiko, Sandals. How do you stop them? You've got 45 seconds. No plant denial or time denial, AoE denial operators on your board. You have to worry about the Twitch. Currently droning, doesn't spot him out. Prime and ready for a swing out and for a frag. Do they know? They don't. Swings wide, but it doesn't even matter. It's Sandals to find the first and Kaiko to connect. Nixa putting themselves on match point.
That is Nixa on match point. I'll tell you what, I would say not good for Ascend, but at the same time, they seem to be doing better than what they did in the first map, so let's not count them out yet. Although in my head, I'm screaming to myself, I know this is over.
So you think it's a done deal?
I think it's a done deal. But at the same time, I'm hoping something happens. I'm a little bit curious as to why Ergo's gone on the glass. Okay, there we go. He has swapped off of it. Gonna say
feel like he's gonna
I've
six-pick
never,
into it. I feel like he's
I've
gonna
never
stick
seen
to it.
him. I've never seen him use a single shotgun in my life. A DMR type weapon.
Yes, shotgun
Button,
equals DMR. Very nice.
I mean, no, I mean like single fire.
Okay, I get it.
With
Yeah.
yeah.
A
English should not work
non-AR.
there. Yes, basically. I would like to point out as well, there's not a single hard breach from the side of Ascent here, so they're just trying to
Defuse bombs.
find their way in here. Maybe they decided, screw the strategy, let's just go for frags.
I mean, funneling through a doorway isn't that bad when you've got a Ying and you've got every single defensive operator blinded.
True, but it should go a lot better than what it did in Oregon when they tried funneling through the window with the Amaru.
Yes,
Turn
that
on
is
the
a
Maru,
flashback
yeah.
they do not want to remember.
Yeah.
Attackers have
I
located
still want to try and see someone's POV from that.
I'm gonna get the POV for you and post it onto it. I have the replay file of this game.
10 seconds left.
I
I'm
need to
going
see that
review it.
POV.
I am on it, Chief. But before we can get the POV, before we head into the game of Regicide versus LPS, speaking of, don't go anywhere after this game. That'll be coming shortly, but just to finish this game still.
Yeah, to
glorious.
finish this game still... I'm not sure why he's looking at his teammates. They have maybe some nice views of the
You
rear
know,
ends.
they're cherishing their last few moments as a team together.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. But looking into this now, figures running around on the cav, we saw sandals, but Sebi finds sandals. Didn't even have to use the feet sniffer to do it. Very well done by him. Oh, he's just sitting on the roof there. So, at this point now, I think for Ascend, it's not just about trying to battle to get to the site. It's a battle trying to get into the building at the first place at this point.
I mean, Dropshot is going to do everything he can to stop that from happening. OG15 sister versus sister, the rivalry here. We saw the new cinematic from the Siege universe just yesterday. The FO12, such a capable gun, but he can't make it connect. A tiny bit of damage done. Actually, none. Snowman picked up. And they're trying to stop them from even getting into the site. Does damage, keeps them on blinking health bars, but just swindles away.
Yeah, so again, this looks like it could be an Ascend round. They've got that man advantage, but again, we can never count these players of Nixa out. These are players who we've seen them go huge, and Kaiko started off for his team there. We're followed up by drop shots. Suddenly now that man advantage that Ascend have been looking for all game is gone. And now possibly they're in a very bad situation here.
Dropshot, the situational awareness to know there might be one on the flank. Does he know? It does not look like he does. Here's the audio cue. The FO12 surely wins these. Snowman on quite literally a single point of HP. A triple kill for Kaiko on the other side of the board. This gunfight here doesn't even really matter because it's happening down below. But meanwhile, this is match point. You're on the attack. You need to get a plant down or get all of the kills. Gloria is going to drop down and try and assist in hunting out Dropshot. The FO12. Oh, it's done so much damage and it finally finds a kill in this round. Snowman, there is nearly no hope. He threads the needle, though. Do you think there's chance?
Threads the needle. There's a chance if he can hit the one tap, but Fish doesn't miss his shot, so he's gonna have to hit that headshot before Fish can even get a shot off. I would also just like to point out the fact that they were just playing ring around the rosy there with each other, just trying to find each other again.
I didn't even know you could go up there. That was smart.
Yeah, I actually didn't know you could do that. Just taught an old dog some new tricks here, but now he's got 15 seconds left. He's going to have to find the single one tap. 1 HP in a dream here. Oh, but the Kona station maybe gives him enough to survive a singular bullet. Still, only 5 seconds. Fish isn't just going to swing this in a hurry.
Oh.
Snowman has to get this kill, but Fish closes it out for his team. It's a 2-0 for Nixa. At least on their side of the sand, they can say they didn't and gets 7-0 twice. But still, complete domination on the side of Nixa, in my opinion.
It's something. Not something to be too happy about, but it's something nonetheless. And GG's all around to Nixa. They'll be joining us in the grand finals tomorrow versus the winner of either La Passion Stack or Regicide. That game happening on this very stream in probably about 15 minutes, very shortly. We'll put a time and we will convey that to you. But for the meantime, don't go anywhere. There is action to follow. Any final words before we head into the break screen?
Not really. I just think those next games should be a bit better of a matchup than this one. I feel this was just a bit of a Nixa showing their true potential. But yeah.
Cool. Let's go to the break screen. Cheers. Hello and welcome for the match of the day. It's Le Passion Stack versus Regicide. A big game, a lot of big names, and it is going to be an exciting one. What do you have to say about this game before we head into it?
Well, I think already, just by looking at the two rosters, we can tell you right now it should be a lot closer of a match than what we saw in the previous game earlier on for anyone who watched that. But nonetheless, either way, I think it should be an exciting matchup. A lot of veterans in the scene here, big names, good map pool. Let's see what happens.
So then, Cafe will be our first map. After that, Clubhouse, and if it goes all the way, Coastline.
That's a fun map pool. I think we're going to see, if it goes all the way, we're going to see a lot of fragging, especially when Coastline comes out.
True,
so for people that want to see good gunplay, it's going to be here.
Now,
But
Le Passion Stack coming into this entire tournament has been... Everyone has told the story that they are the gunner stack, that they don't really play strategy, they just go in and they get the kills. But especially yesterday in their game versus Meraki, on Coastline of all maps, which he said is a fragment map, they seemed more coordinated than I have seen teams in a long time. And I actually chatted to Causa after the game. 3 of their players are natively French. 2 of them are natively English. They cannot communicate, and yet somehow they are working as a unit. It is amazing, and I don't know how it works, but it's working. And just to bring it back to the bans here, it's going to be Thatcher and Jackal as our first bans.
these are already more normal bans than what we saw out of the previous matchup. This is a lot more what I was expecting, especially considering now we're at a cafe. Mirror ban again, not uncommon here. Extremely strong map for her. Wouldn't actually be surprised if this last ban ends up being like a Cade ban as well.
Let's see what the final ban joining them will be. Indeed, it's the Cade. Well done on
See,
the
I just know. I've got the script.
script has been leaked.
Got the script right in front of me.
Damn it. How'd I let that one slip again, man?
You made a mistake. Okay, but on that note now, we're going to have to look into this. I have a feeling we're going to see some good defense coming out here in Regicide. I think this is a team that they've obviously been working hard since, for a long time now. Again, there is some tension between some of the players in this lobby, if people didn't know. Again, we love the beef here and the comedic Twitter responses that we see in the South African scene. So it's going to have to come down to what happens here. But I have a feeling we're going to see a well-prepared side on this side on Regicide here. They've been prepping for a long time, since back when they were still Phoenix. This roster has been training and practicing to try and make its way to the top. What a better time than now.
Just before we get into the actual game, the prep phase has started now. I want to ask everyone in chat something no caster should ever have to ask their chat. But why are you watching right now? Head over to the Rainbow Six main broadcast. There's a new operator reveal. Have us on the second tab, obviously, but like, new operator, that's pretty cool. Also, check my Twitter and YouTube. I have gameplay of the new operator coming in about 10 minutes. It will be released. But bringing it back to this game, the new operators aren't in play yet, so we're gonna have to play with the current build and see what a current Siege has to offer. Not that that is boring by any means. These are some of the best teams in Southern Africa facing off against one another, and for the first sight, we're going to be seeing Reading and Fireplace with a vertical hold and Cocktail. A very usual setup, but something that, when used correctly, one of the best sites in this game.
Yeah, agreed. I would have had a castle barricade there where they had that laser gate, but we'll have to see exactly how they play around that. Maybe they're going to use it to get themselves some nice angles here. As you said yourself, this is a very usual setup we're seeing. Besides for that change I personally would have made, this is a very usual setup we see coming out of here. I would like to call out though that the Rowan is actually just crouch walking his way up here. He's said screw it to the roam clear. He's just coming straight for some kills, but it does seem as if the smoke is aware. Does get away with his life though.
So what I've been able to figure out from this stack is Mario and Causa are the 2 native English speakers. They will play off of each other, one droning the other in. Niwek will drone his fellow French stack in, that being RX and King SO. So we've got 2 kind of contingents within this main team somehow still working together. Iana on the Skylight gonna pop her Gemini in, feed some intel. No, she won't. Instantly shot out. But look at the main push. It's coming not from the verticals, not from the top floor. It's coming from train room. Already putting pressure onto the smoke. They know he's low, so why not take him even lower with the Twitch drone? They're feeling this pressure on the bomb site and in Christmas now.
So as you were saying, there's basically a dynamic duo and a dynamic trio that we've got running around, but AML doesn't care. He says bye-bye to Nivik as he gets the first kill on the board with the C4 there.
Oh, the
Could be an
intel.
important kill. So missed intel there, missed camera that they didn't spot there. Could actually end up being the death of one of the players here, but it looks like the Passion Stack is slowly pushing their way through, but they only have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Regicide doing well to keep them back. That C4 obviously throwing them off a bit. Kings are starting to do that vertical play, and not quite able to finish off AML though.
Oh, Pana trying to make the rotate up, but he gets caught out from train side. Doesn't find the finisher though. So it's still in a 4v5. The only player to have lost his life is Newek. Causa on the cam. They know exactly where he is playing at and what he's playing at, but he's getting smoked out by the smoke gas canister. Swak loses his life in a DBNO state. Surely won't be able to get picked up. The player's starting to fall, but it's still a penny flip. This still could go either way. Causa snaking his way through. Pops the Surya gate, and surely that gives an audio call. He finds one. Can he find the second? The smoke, oh so low. Having to reload the F2. He finds the kill nonetheless. Now they have control of the bomb set, but the diffuser has been dropped up top. Saw the last one alive. Make that Sarli. As he's got the vertical play, he can try and deny this plant, shotgun in hand. But screw a plant. He has the diffuser.
That's big, but unfortunately Orish just finds him anyway. So I was going to say that whole round went horrible there for Regicide the moment Causa just decided to walk his way through that laser gate. I don't know if the sound cue didn't come through properly, but those players should have known he was there. But he just made it work. Even if they did know he was there, he made it work. Got two very important kills there. Suddenly opened everything up. If only the diffuser was there. But it wasn't.
It's a type of play that I see Causa doing quite often, is him saying, if I do X, I'm going to be at a back foot, but they're going to be completely unaware and I might get a kill off of it. And that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
He goes through the Surya gate. He says, okay, I'm going to take 40 HP of damage. That's fine. My position is going to be known from the audio call out. That is fine. Because he is currently picking up the player in a DBNO state, finds the kill, finds a second, perfectly done, takes control of the bomb site, the round going their way from there. The Passion Stack, a team that a lot of the time for me, find individual plays off of players like Causa, like Nixa, like Newek, star-studded roster, but they worked well together as a team to transfer those into round wins.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much, it's a star player effect. The moment that one player goes and makes that huge play, suddenly the whole roster is able to realize, okay, here's our opportunity, and they do what they need to do, they get themselves in. So we watch AML sprinting around with the drone here. He is a player who is known as well to be making those star plays, so I want to see exactly how he can make those plays for Regicide and allow Regicide to get that advantage that they need.
You know, it's the exact same defense coming out from Regicide, a team that often I call the Team Empire team, maybe not making it to the final of 6 Invitational, but in the sense that they play a very structured play style. They have one single setup for every single site, and they kind of stick to that. The answer, the question rather, is how does Le Passion Stack answer to that? They found an opening kill now, a very big one onto Saw, the R4C taken off the board. But how do you answer into this exact same site? Causa, instead of walking up red, is going to try and walk up white, again being droned out by Mario. No intel fed just yet, but he's primed and ready.
Again, this is the thing of, they should have a sound cue. He's there, the barbed wire's there, but it doesn't look like Regicide even reacting to his presence. As Nivik finds a second kill. They are definitely aware of Rowan's presence here now, but is Nivik going to try and repeat what Causa did there?
They've completely fallen off of the bomb site. A skeleton crew, not even left. Pana trying to take the gunfight with Causa, but he's dipped out back down. Sarli feeling the pressure from down below. He's on Cocktail trying to hold the verticals, but you can't hold verticals when you've lost control of the bomb site. Pana there to retake, and here's the Surya gate being popped. The laser gate falling. The player walking in, the Yana can't hit his shots, but no can Pana either. Finds a kill with the PRB, but from the side he's completely unaware, and Mario to find the final kill.
So this is something I was talking about in the previous match. We were saying, like, when we were talking about defender and attacker sided maps, where realistically, again, Cafe is as tended in the norm. I'm not saying this is always the case, but in the norm it tends to be a defender sided map. Right now, the Passion Stack are kind of saying, screw that, we're just gonna walk our way through your defense.
And it's working. It's really, really working. 2 rounds isn't setting, well, it's starting a trend. It isn't that a trend has formed. It is not one-sided or another. I usually start pointing something out when it's 3 or 4 rounds, but when it is as decisive as these last rounds have been, not necessarily in terms of the man count. There were rounds that came down to the first round that came down to like 2 players left against 3, I believe. My memory might be failing me, but that last round, it just seemed so one-sided. They just knew what they had to do. They did it. They checked it off their checklist. And they won the round. Simple as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 strikes, and you're out.
Yeah. Nice, whatever phrase that was. But anyway.
That was a phrase. I don't know what I just said. I'm sorry.
just kept with the flow there. But yeah, looking into this now. The thing is, if you're Regicide now, realistically, you want to start getting some rounds for yourself on the board. You don't want to let the passion stack get more than 2. 3 rounds, I'd say, is already a little bit finicky, you know, for Cafe. Especially if the passion stack's defenses look anything like those first 2 attacks have done. But who knows, maybe it was just that site just isn't very good for Regicide, and they've only realized it now.
So then, Kitchen. Quite a default setup. Again. 1 player up top, make that no players actually up top. All of them on the bomb site. The Bandit, the only one that's really contesting into Bakery at this point in time. No extension in there, both walls reinforced off, no shield, nothing. Just AML and an MP7.
AML and MP7, that is a bit of a scary thought, even if he is still running around on the site. But it looks like the Passion Stack are actually opting to go for the roam clear here. I believe they're actually trying to hunt down the lone... Is that... Legion Saw on the Legion there, I believe, yes. But Swak actually managed to find the opening kill into Nivik. Well, the drones do start to spot where the roamers are running around. That is a big kill there. That's one of the star players off the board. But it looks like these drones have actually got the Legion of Saw actually pinned off here. So they do know exactly where he is. And Twitch is starting to try and cut him off. Just a question of what big play can he make. But Causa stops him from running away. Brings it back to a 4-4 man count.
If there is intel, Causa is there to follow up on it. Spotted out by the drone, Impact to try and find the rotate, but Causa is 1 up on him. RX now going to start using these Roteros to maybe open up some verticals, because notably, no breach charges, secondary breach charges, no sledge, nothing. That is all they actually have to open up these verticals, but, well, it's enough. And it's enough to almost find them a kill. Sarli taking so much damage. Still escapes with his life, and notably still a C4 in pocket. They haven't lost that one out just yet. AML actually rips his, but doesn't find anything.
Yeah, so that one C4 being gone, not going to be end of the world, but it might actually end up being, as Mario gets another man advantage. He finds Swak. That means now it's all going to be down to Sally, Pana, and AML here. Only 1 C4 and 1 impact left, nade left in terms of utility. Not much to work with. They're going to have to take these gunfights for themselves here.
I can tell you've been in England for too long. You just called Sarli Sally. I'll not point that out for too long, but Sarli on the bomb site.
Sorry, Sarli.
He's getting pressured.
AML.
His friend falls.
That is a big problem now. It's all down to Sarli and Pana. Scratch that. It's down to no one. The Passion Stack gets the 3rd round on the board, looking a bit more perilous here for Regicide now.
Now I can start calling it a trend. This is where I was trying to take the 3 strikes and you're out analogy. I believe if you lose 3 rounds in a row, well, you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's a bit of a trouble, especially seeing as this is Cafe. This is realistically, as a defensive side, you don't want the Passion Stack getting another single round until you swapped over.
Yeah, so they're still on the attack, and they're still looking scared. Reg side, they're going to barn Cocktail, mixing things up, going to the top floor bomb site, what once was the preferred site. A lot of switch up in this map's meta over the last few months, years, whatever you will point it out to, but I just want to point out that Causa back on ATK. I feel so stupid even pointing this out. I feel like it's what every default caster does. Oh, the ATK days. But their strategy in taking bar and Cocktail, it was open up Red Hatch, open into Christmas. From there, let's just see what happens. I can promise you right now, the Passion Stack, they're just going to open up Red Hatch, they're going to open up Red Wall, and then just see what happens. Easy as that.
Yeah. The problem is that it's when you're trying to attack this site, it's very difficult to make a prediction beforehand as to what you can do, because it's literally going to depend on to exactly where all these shields are placed. You can see there's this extra Goya shield here that makes that completely has the ability to change the entire way you're going to attack it. So a lot of teams, back in the day, as when I was coaching for OG and for actually all the rosters I've coached, we never really made attacking strats because we used the philosophy of, well, every round, it's nothing we plan is going to be identical unless we're playing against people who just use the most default stuff on Earth.
Yeah.
So that means realistically, we'd rather just need to be prepared to be as adaptable as possible.
So then,
But it,
secondary beat charge used to open up the castle barricade. Looking into White Hallway. Doesn't suss out anything just yet. And here we go, the hatch is being opened up. The Rotero's gonna be following suit.
I want to see if Corza stays on that white window the entire round, or how long he stays on there, because it is a window where you can potentially cause chaos if they don't manage to deal with you effectively there.
The Rotero's being
First
used...
Rotero comes out.
Yeah, you're being used to detonate these shields, and a lot of the time you see players actually opting to use the Rotero to break open Shaiko's spot. No one playing there just yet, but it is possible to clear out these hard stuck angles and shields in Freezer and in Pixel with these Roteros.
The Rotero didn't actually blow up the shield there. That may be a bit of a problem, but to see exactly how they play off of it here. Very strong position to be sitting in here, but with that shield gone now, he is actually kind of trapped in that freezer. He's gonna have nowhere to go. The rotate's actually on the other side, which means he will have to cross over their sight lines to try and rotate out.
Oh,
It doesn't look like he's actually being actively contested there right now, but Newick starting to try and find his way here into Pixel.
Oh, a clean shot. Connecting from Sali. That's the initial frag you were looking for. Corza down below trying to find and suss out the player at bottom white, as well as the vertical angle. He is aware of so much. His brain is thinking one step ahead at every single point. Still trying to clear out the shield at Pixel, though. This is a bit of a sticky situation. But Corza taking the vertical, he finds the kill. That's an opening you need, alleviating the pressure coming out from Cocktail. Now, maybe you can swing into the main long bar area. But still, Sali, SMG-11 in hand, posing a threat no longer, as RX from the skylight finds him.
Being able to the skylight there is going to be crucial once this plant goes down, because that's going to make a retake from the side of Regicide absolutely impossible. So it's pretty much all down to these three who are still alive to find a way. And Saul starting it off here for his team, finding Corza a big kill to find there. Now Regicide's going to have to keep it together for another 25 seconds and try and stop this plant from going down. But it is going down. This retake's going to be very, very difficult if they don't manage to deny this, as we just saw there. But AML does manage to deny it. Now suddenly it's all down to Mario here. The 1v2 with 10 seconds left. He has got to get the diffuser implanted before he's able to die. But Swak finishes it off and puts his team on the board.
A great round from Regicide in the late phase of that game. Really well done to the Jaeger. Didn't clutch who the player was, but having the state of mind to be able to think. They're probably going to go for the plant. The timer is low. They've probably all rotated up top. We've killed Corza, the player who was down below, putting that pressure onto Freezer from the verticals. He's dead. Why not go down below? Cancel out the plant at default by trash bins. That's exactly what he does. A really good answer back from Regicide. How do you stop Le Passion Stack? The team that is touted as some good teamwork, but more importantly, just frags. Well, I think out-fragging them is possible. It's going to be very hard, but it's possible. But out-braining them is how you take them.
Yeah. Very well played there by Amals, who I believe it was Amal and the Jaeger there to read that situation, because stopping that helped immediately, because that meant now suddenly the other players who were still left of the Passion Stack, I believe it was RX on the Skylight and Mario there in the Christmas. That means now they're in a bad position, because they can't actually get to that diffuser.
Yeah.
But if that diffuser gone down, the retake would have been near impossible.
So
but
then,
on that note now, Regicide actually chose to go downstairs. Again, trying desperately to find those extra couple rounds that they're going to need so desperately to make sure that the Passion Stack aren't able to run away with this.
that is the most annoying drone hole in all of Siege. I hate that drone hole. It is impossible to shoot a drone through there. But just quickly looking at how they set up this bomb site. Again, no extension into Bakery. At least this time they have service open up on the left side. More than that, I mean, they have a top floor roam presence, but pretty bog standard from there. AML actually has a cardiac sensor So maybe he might be able to scan out Causa, who's already in VIP.
Causa just doesn't care. He's just walking his way in. He's got a lot of territory that they really need. They've actually got most of the territory they need to be able to open up the breach already.
They seem completely unaware.
So,
they think the attack is going to come from the top floor.
but the question is, where's the rest of his team? Because his team aren't exactly in a position to help him open that breach. He hasn't got any hard breaches.
Maybe that's what they want. They want a player to just silently get in here. His presence, completely unknown. Saw believes he's alone, believes the attack is coming from the top floor because he hears the secondary breaches being used to open up those hatches. Swak is calling movement up top. They don't know Causa is here, and he's going to go for that kill.
Going for a very, very slowly crouch walking his way. Swak doesn't even pick it up, and that means Saw is now dead.
Perfect!
And there's the second onto Swak. Great play there by Causa to get the kill. AML did actually spot him out a bit too late there for actual calls. This means now they're at a 3v5 man disadvantage. Half the round is gone, but they've also got no way to actually stop those walls from going down. There's enough utility on the side of the patch that can guarantee that wall goes open, but Causa doesn't care. He doesn't care about opening that wall. He's just going for the kills, and he finds Sali, meaning now it's all down to AML and Pana.
Running amok with this round. Niwek trying to find an answer back, or not even an answer back, just trying to find something for himself. Pana left alone in a dire situation, a double on the round. He's going to need an incredible ace if he wants to bring this back. The diffuser, though, has been dropped, so maybe a little bit of a bright light at the end of the tunnel, but that bright light might just be you seeing your final moments before your own death. Pana in a sticky situation, flashed out. There's the bright light and the death, surely soon to follow. It's going to be the Twitch
on
drone.
1 HP. Oh, no. I was also thinking, where's the Twitch drone? But Causa was dead, I believe.
Yeah.
But that's on Trillium. But yeah, so now Regicide are in a bit of a pickle. Because, again, this is the defender-sided map. They're 4-1 down on their defense half. Maybe this is attacker-sided today? Who knows? But right now, from where I'm sitting, it doesn't look good for them. Because the Passion Stack have been firmly running this game from the first round.
Yeah, they're still firmly in control. They've got the bull by the horns. They're going to Reading Room and Fireplace, the site that they started out on. Maybe there's a chance, but really, I don't know.
Right now, look, they've swapped into the Pulse. Good move for the Intel, but unfortunately that Intel didn't even help them last round because, well, Causa just said, I don't care, and he just walked up and got two hugely impactful frags, completely decimated the roam single-handedly.
You know, it's not as one-sided as the previous game of Ascend versus... I always forget. Okay, it's Nixa. Okay, I'm gonna remember
Nixa,
this now,
yeah.
I promise. Ascend versus Nixa, but still, this is like... This is so one-sided. I'm sorry, it's literally just, he said, the star player mentality. Causa,
Yeah.
9-1.
It's... How do you stop that? You've got to shut him down, but how do you shut him down if the Intel isn't getting you the kills?
5 seconds remaining.
It's tough. It really is.
Because they should have known he was there. AML spotted him there on that scanner.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get this back for us right now. Give me
For a
2
second,
seconds.
I thought that was my side that ended.
Okay, it's good. It's
There
back.
we
We're
go.
back.
That was a bit of an interesting moment there. But yeah, AML had him there on the scanner. And still the Intel wasn't able to do anything because it's just, how do you stop a man who's just sneaking around and getting all those kills?
I mean, you have to stop him at some point. And they did, I think, in the previous round. That's where I believe he got his one death. No, he got it in the round where they lost. What am I talking about? He hasn't died in the round they won. 9-1. What is this? Okay, I'll stop fangirling. I'm sorry.
Fangirl may be what cost the curses him here a little bit, because to see what happens. Again, he isn't throwing caution to the wind. He's doing his research here with the drones, trying to figure out how can he best approach this to keep getting those kills.
Sneaky angle.
Bomb located.
RX.
by attackers.
And the skylight might get
Are you-
caught out.
Oh, but the timing, he peeks away as RX looks, but Causa actually takes a huge amount of damage, not being able to return it all to Swak. Swak nearly putting an end to him, but he still lives to fight another day. Question is now, what is the Passion Stack going to do? Half the round is gone. They haven't got the territory that needed. They haven't got any of those hugely impactful kills that Forza was able to make on the previous rounds. Could it be that this is what Regicide needed to get another round on the board? Nivik starts it off for his team. Saw is gone, and AML gets followed up quickly by Nivik. Nivik with a tear here. It doesn't even matter if Koza is on low HP and not able to get it, because Nivik is just tearing through, but he does finally get shut down by Sali.
When one player is lagging behind, there is another to follow up. C4 to boot, but hey, how do you get out of this position? Swak from the side tries to find one, but it's just Sali on site. The SMG-11 in hand. Maybe he can clutch this out with an M590A1 shotgun, but the plant's going down. He needs to push. There's a vertical angle, and there's one from back. Sight! And he finds the kill. He finds the connection. The Passion Stack just steamrolling through the site.
Well, still hasn't died. Got put to 1 HP, but he still hasn't died.
How is this allowed to happen? I know they're like not allowing this to happen. I'm just metaphorically, how is this happening?
How does this happen?
How does this happen? What am I witnessing?
This whole day, the matches have just been overly one-sided. Is it a caster curse by us?
Surely not. I mean, there are a lot of factors. One of them just being how long it's been since there's been active play in the Sub-Saharan Africa Rainbow Six Siege scene. These players aren't as warmed up as they would have been during the golden days of ROG Invitational or Middle State Incredible Connection Tournament. There has been a bit of slagging.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, still, it shouldn't be this one-sided towards a single group of players. But so far, what we're seeing is that.
Now,
because right now, Regicide are at an extreme disadvantage. But who knows? Maybe this is going to be an extremely attacker-sided cafe, like in the likes that we've never seen before, or maybe we have. You'll have to tell me with one of your oddly specific dates again.
Attacking-sided cafes. I'll give that one a thonk.
Because from my mind, I can't think of any attacker-sided cafes. It has been one of those maps since it's got introduced that was very defensive-sided, and it's not hard to see why. It's a good map for a defender. There's lots of cover, long sightlines that you can use, which the attackers have to try and peek into, lots of ways you can open it up. It just makes sense. But now the question is, what are Regicide going to do? Maybe the Passion Stack's not going to be coordinated enough here with their communication issues, obviously with different languages.
Oh, there's a ping 2 on a player down below. I didn't catch quite who it was. It's Niwek. Feeling a bit of pressure. They know of his position, and he is sticking it. Trying to go for the spawn peek. Might just find the head of the player to the right, the Ash of Swak, who opts to actually go for the repel, a dangerous position, but no bait from Niwek.
Niwek doesn't even go for a run out there, playing it safe. Probably with actually into his death, but I did see Swak actually flip himself around to look downwards there. So he wanted to make sure that he didn't get run out on there. So probably a smart decision there by Niwek not to jump out. But they're going to start seeing some congestion here. Some fighting maybe might start to happen here. 2 minutes left in the round. And they're finally starting to start pushing into where Koza is actually playing very aggressively. Question is, do they know? Nivik has actually come to assist him with his aggression though.
Bit of aggression. Is there a player? They're both droning. They're both holding the flank. Surely you only situate one to that. Maybe a bit of communication error, whatever it may be. I don't know why that just happened, but I just want to quickly note this position Koza is playing is one he is completely known for. He's played it to quite the notoriety during the ROG Invitational. Gotten many kills from here, but his teammates are falling. Sure, you have control of Christmas, but you need to hold onto the site.
They haven't droned him here, so he's going to be able to get a pick here, and he does. Brings it back, because teammates may be falling, but he doesn't care. He just wants to go a bit more and more and more, but he is dead. Finally, Sali finally forcing Koza to have his second death of the game. But Kingzo is right here, just waiting to try and maybe potentially get that man advantage back to even, or possibly even find more than one kill.
Pixel.
Mario, I believe, still further back on the site.
Pixel and Heaven Balcony, two of the spots that you can just sit comfortably in. Oh, they know his position. They droned him. Now, surely they're going to pre-fire it, but no! It's Mario who wins the gunfight. How does he even get out of that? King SO is rotated over onto Freezer now. Make that bottom rod, and not quite in Freezer just yet, but Mario is just putting so much pressure onto them that they need to worry about. King SO can grab a bit of HP, maybe go for an aggressive swing with that little bit of a booster, but Regicide need to make a move now. Swak and Sarli gearing up for a take from New Balcony, spraying on through. They find a bit of damage. Actually, no, the only damage done is onto Swak. They know there's still one in Pixel, though.
15 seconds
Yeah,
left.
15 seconds left looking into this. 2v2 here. They're going to have to cover this plant properly, but Swak does find the one, but unfortunately, the Planter loses his cover here, so he's going to have to go for the gunfight, but he does, and he commits to it, finding Mario. Suddenly, Regicide, I believe that was the second round now on the board.
Yeah, doing a bit better to bring it back.
So, who knows, maybe it is going to be a very attacker-sided map. We're going to have to see exactly what's happening with this further on in, but that being said, now it looks like they're going to be going to the exact same side again, possibly trying to fix their mistakes there. Because if we look at it, the teammates that didn't die did play it right, so maybe they're just saying, maybe this in the passion stack, they're just saying to themselves, well, we know what we did wrong. We nearly won that even though we made those big mistakes. So let's just go there and not make those mistakes again.
Yeah, I mean, fixing your mistakes is always a good sign. Not that they're...
We're going to have to see.
But, I mean, do you think Regicide has been making too many mistakes? Have there been things that you're like, oh, they shouldn't have done that, oh, that was a misplay, oh, why did you do this, why did you place that there? To me, at least, it is just the passion stack completely outplaying them.
Yeah, it's nothing obvious. Nothing. Maybe there's small things, but for the most part, what I'm seeing gunfights being lost. Yes, I did see that Rowan wasn't droned there. That maybe would have been Causa, sorry, not going to be referred to him that for people that don't know his actual name. He was not actually droned out there from behind the bar, which should have been done. So that's maybe a small mistake there. But for the most part, there's nothing huge. It looks more as if, yeah, as you're saying, the passion stack was just outplaying them.
Well, the attacking side is the side, in my mind at least, where you can kind of force the issue. You're not at the behest of the attacking side and what they decide to do. Sure, the defensive side is the side that sets up the site, but after that, they kind of play reactionary. It's up to the attackers to choose where do we attack from. Let's say a defensive side sets up in bar and cocktail only to defend white. Well, if the attack comes from red, you're completely unaware. That's why I say red side, they can choose where they want to attack from. They can choose the pace of this game from here on out. Maybe that is exactly what they need.
Yeah, maybe what they need is to start setting the pace, because right now it feels like they just aren't setting the pace. They had two people sitting on drones there on the stairs, nearly got caught with their pants down by Nivik. Luckily for them, Nivik didn't pull it off, and that actually possibly is what won them the round there. But they shouldn't be making mistakes like that over and over again. You can't let that happen.
The Rotero going to force him out of the position in Pixel. Gone. Completely gone. Naded. Nuked. AML from Skylight. There's one player in Freezer that needs to worry about this, and that's Causa.
He's just rotated out. So AML's not actually going to get the opportunity to use that. Maybe if someone chooses to rotate back in there, but right now, it looks like the passion stacks still aren't actually getting contested anywhere. Yes, Pixel Shield's gone, but Regicide haven't actually taken the territory yet. So they're still sitting with only a minute and 30 left, and they haven't taken any control besides destroying some utility.
The only player
that could come back to bite them.
The only player currently inside of the map is Saw. And notably, Causa has rotated on into, I believe it's called engine room? Train? Not quite sure. Rips the C4, suspecting someone to be already having opened up the wall into white, maybe pushing on to Christmas. Sure, Punner is in, but a bit too late. Pressuring on into white hallway, might find one player deep in cocktail. Yes, he does! Can he find a second one behind Stacks? The Jaeger needs to worry about this.
Personal stacks are going to be crucial to stop that push from coming through here. But AML does find Nivik there. Now suddenly the Regicide looking like they were commanded this round. Kingzo and Causa are still not even in a position to fully contest this. Plant has gone down with 45 seconds left. And Kingzo misses onto Saw somehow. Panda finds Kingzo. It's all down to Causa now. He has to find the complete ace here to be able to bring it back for his team here. The 30 seconds is going to be a tall order. He knows there's one down here with him. He does manage to find the one. Only 25 seconds left to find 3 more kills. And to also defuse that. So the question is, can he do it? He's got one on his left, one on his right. 2 on his right, I believe. What's he going to do? They do possibly know where he is. They're hearing it or they're seeing the gunshots. He gets pinched. And Regicide take their 3rd round of the game.
even a player who's 13-3 can't always win those situations. That is just Regicide setting the pace, saying, okay, we're going to go for a plot now. We know you're unaware. We know if we found 2 kills, you're not going to be ready for this. They get the plant out. They win the round. Quick, easy, simple. Why not do that before 4 more rounds?
Regicide took the territory that they needed there extremely quickly, and they held it. Because they saw somewhere that Koza had gone downstairs, and that as well that Kingzo was not in a position to stop them from pushing in. So that means it was 5 people pushing 1 player on the site. How are you going to stop that if you're that 1 player? Yes, maybe you might have an insanely big moment, but normally that's going to end in your death.
Yeah, it's almost certainly going to end in your death.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a coughing fit myself.
So, looking into this round, well, Kanye tries to sort out his coughing fit a bit here. It's been a bit of a long day here. So, looking into it now, they've opted to go downstairs. They said, well, upstairs isn't working for us. So they're going to have to try and figure out what can they do here to downstairs. Because the Passion Stack, they're 1 round away from match point. They don't want Regicide catching up with them now. They'd want to use that momentum they had before. They want to find that momentum again. Take control of the map. Take control of the match. Try and get themselves to that match point which they need. The question is now, what are Regicide going to do here? This is going to be the first time we're seeing them attacking it down here. And also, where is Koza going to play? I have a feeling he's going to be playing very aggressive. We've seen it coming out of him this entire game. They've actually opted to extend into the bakery, which we haven't seen out of any team today yet.
So, Regicide, how do you attack this? 1 player putting already a bit of pressure onto the VIP window. But it looks like the main push is going to be this top floor clear like we see a lot of teams do. They're just waiting, seeing what they can pick off before they make any decisive moves. Heading to the top floor now, it's going to be a default clear. Let's take a look at whether anyone is on the roam. Indeed, the Malusi up top here. Getting droned.
Malusi.
Not yet spotted though.
Nivik, if he doesn't get spotted here, he can cause some very good chaos here. But the drones are circling around him. It's just a question of when rather than if they do find him. But Koza gets actually picked off first by AML. That's going to be a high impact kill there by AML. Also Swak getting another kill. And Nivik does find Swak though from that position. Again, bad drone work there on the side of Regicide, allowing Nivik to get a kill. Maybe that could be what swings around, but no, it doesn't. She gets wallbanged.
A complete no intel wallbang finds the kill. I think when they got the kill onto Quasar and King SO down below, they thought, okay, surely they're going to rotate on down. We can go for this top floor clear. New York able to find 1, but it's not enough. Regicide on a tear, bringing things back here on Cafe. This might be the attacking sided Cafe for the history books that next time a caster asks me, I can point out that, yes, this game was the one that went attacking sided.
That is possible, yeah. So, as you said now, this is a 42-man advantage for Regicide here. A minute and 20 left to try and find their way onto the site. Not a huge amount of time, but it could be enough. As we see, the drones are coming out here. They're trying to plan their way in here. They've got their hard reach still. They've got their way in. It's just a question of how do they choose to approach this.
So RX, sitting on site. He is their hard anchor for now. He's still got 6 smoke canisters, sorry, 3 rather, in back pocket. And they're opting to actually not open up the hatch, rather just open up this freezer wall. Selma's burning the wall. Sticking on the hard right, the shotgun, a close quarter engagement gun to use, but he doesn't get the close quarter engagement he would have hoped for. He gets gunned down by Zofia's LMG just before he can even do anything. One player hops on into coat check, and he finalizes the kill onto that one. Another one coming from long bar area, but the plant is coming down. He needs to make a move at some point. Spots the first. The SMG-11, not a good gun to take that gunfight whiff. And again, it's the LMGE from the Zofia finalizing it. Regicide coming into their own.
Okay, so clearly attack is just the thing today. Clearly defense is not possible anymore, but I don't think the Passion Stack will stop the Passion Stack from going to kitchen again, trying to change that fortune that they had there. Maybe it was the impact of Koza dying off really early. We saw Nivik getting a good kill there. He didn't get droned. We saw the bad drone with Regicide there, missing Nivik up top. Ultimately, I believe it was Swak that got killed as a result of it. So the question is now, are Regicide going to address this droning thing? Because it's starting to irritate me a little bit. This is irritating the former coach inside of me. But as well, from the Passion Stack side, I want to see how are they going to keep themselves alive because Regicide just tore through them that round.
They need to answer back, and it's how do I? So initially we said Le Passion Stack are just outplaying Regicide, and now we have Regicide just outplaying Le Passion Stack. It's completely flipped.
Yeah.
I mean, to me at least, the way I'm seeing it, you might see it differently as a coach, as someone who looks deeply into the setup side, the tactical side. But I really feel these players, these teams are equally matched, are deadlocked, are in an impasse. It is just every now and then one kill flips it.
Yeah, it's that one kill. It's are you killing Koza or are you killing the person on Regicide who's going to make a big play? Is Nivik going to make a big play this time, or is he going to get shut down early on and suddenly Regicide is able to actually do something? So, to me right now, the question that Regicide really need to be asked, well, that Le Passion Stack really need to be asking themselves is, how the hell are they going to stop? Are they going to ensure that if one of them dies off early before he can make a play, that the rest of them are able to bring it back?
This time, there is a bit of a setup inside of Bakery, though no open wall extension, no deployable shield, so maybe just a bit of a bait, not really going to stick in that position. Rogue, I'm calling, I just called them Rogue. I saw the RG. Regicide, again, going for the top floor clear. It seems they, on their attack, are a lot more diligent. They don't just snake their way in and find a few kills. They take it slow, they take it cautiously, as they probably should, because these players are on the hunt, on the roam, and they're prowling, they're finding kills. That's an important one. The ace down, the diffuser dropped. Le Passion Stack with a big opener to answer back to Regicide's few rounds.
That right there was possibly the biggest kill Nivik could have found in that round. That means now Regicide are going to have to try and pour their way in through doorways, and we saw earlier how that can go horribly wrong. We saw that earlier in the earlier matchup where we saw team trying to pile their way through a window. It just didn't go well. But AML has finally found Nivik. Very late refrag there, but the damage has been done. As you said earlier, the ace is off the board. That's your only hard breach gone. How are you planning to get your way into the site now?
Pana on the Gemini. So here's Corzo, but he's not going to be able to take a gunfight because he is on the Gemini, not his actual operator. But that feeds intel. That tells them that he's fallen on back down. They've killed Newek up top. Now the rest of the players, all of them, hunkering down on site. Completely untouched, though. A minute and 30 has elapsed. Now they need to start making these angles open. They need to start placing out these secondary breach charges, not hard breach charges. Zofia going to start that one out and then put pressure onto the bomb site. But there are C4s still in back pocket. Mario has one, can pop it at any time he wishes. Let's see if he does connect with it.
Damage being done there by Mario onto AML. Regicide are going to be trying desperately to get some vertical picks here, because unless they're able to get those picks, it's going to be hard to push their way into the site here. But on the side of the Passion Stack, they've all just fallen off the site. They've said, well, if you want to play vertical, that's fine. We're just going to control the area around the site and stop you from actually getting into it.
Oh, he whips out the concussion, tries to use the impact from the Zofia stun, does about 5 HP of damage and blinds himself in the process. From Whiskey, Mario playing a very aggressive position, might just challenge onto the player at bottom red. I believe that's Pana. If he's caught unaware, that shotgun blast to the face could prove deadly. Swings on through, spots him out, but snakes on out. The gunfight surely has to commence at some point because so little time is left on this clock. Corza and King Eso left in position to clutch this out. Corza, the stoic player, the one who will wait, play time, in a position where he has not been spotted out. They don't know where he is. He finds one. He knows where the planter is. There's no answer back. Corza with the clutch. And Le Passion Stack pushing it on to match point.
That was a big play there by Corza. Big misread by I believe it's the Yana who came sprinting around the corner instead of pre-aiming it. Because yes, maybe you didn't know where Corza is, but you can't just, that's not an excuse not to go sprinting, because that sprint there got you killed, and now that's allowed Le Passion Stack to get themselves into the match point. Bad situation for Regicide now.
Match point going to bar and cocktail. It's a site they haven't done too well on. Maybe they can change things around. Calls are opting to go for the Pulse. I pray he has the XM1014, the Pulse shotgun. It's something we haven't seen in about a year and a half, I'd like to imagine. But for anyone who is new to the scene who doesn't know, Corza is dangerous on a Pulse shotgun.
Well, the problem is that I wouldn't put him on the pulse shotgun right now, but maybe he is. He's still running around that pistol, so he isn't really showing us anything. But the problem with running out of that pulse shotgun is the moment you end up in a clutch situation, like what he just did there, that becomes awkwardly difficult.
What does he want to do with this? I mean, okay, so he's got the UAV, so everything we just said basically doesn't matter, but still an important operator nonetheless. And looking at this defense, it is again bog standard. We saw Regside on their defense opting to go for the shield meta, where they place one in freezer, one in bathroom, one at pixel, and just delay time. Whereas the Passion Stack, as they are known, they're going to go for the kills, not really hunkering down, not playing these set positions. Causer from down below, C4 to boot. Very dangerous position if Regside want to go for that red take.
Yeah, that is true. So he's going to be feeding a lot of intel there. Obviously, we did see Regiside using that pulse earlier, AML being on it, but they weren't actually able to use that pulse intel successfully. It actually, in the end, it just didn't work do anything for them because Corza just walked his way around. But Corza, he's quite well known as a pulse player. He's well known with his ability to communicate, but they're actually being spotted out here. I think they're both their positions are known, so the question is now, can they still keep sneaky, or are they going to get killed? But AML starts off with finding Nivik. Big impact there. There's one C4 off the board.
The intel being fed there was just so instrumental.
Yeah. That drone gave them all the intel they needed. Now suddenly this has been blown wide open, causes having to run away and hope he can maybe move into that position a little bit later on.
His presence is still felt though. They haven't taken control of the bottom floor just yet. Again, they're opting to go for that top floor red take. These Roteros coming in. The Gemini is dropping down. And indeed, the Rotero is actually going to take care of that position in Shaiko. Actually, they placed a shield there. Not something I've seen ever before, because I believe behind that shield you can just get shot from Skylight. So don't know why exactly you would place it there, but it's gone.
It doesn't really make sense to put it there either as well, because the bar itself, those bar counters is
bulletproof.
Yeah, they're multiple layer sticks. They're multiple layer sticks, so to be able to kill someone behind there, you've really got to spray for a long time. But Mario finds an opening kill into Saul there. That's Nomad gone, flanked and all gone. The question is, did you place it before? And as well, has Corza made his way back into the position yet?
He's down below. And surely spots out the Zofia. Pops it.
Does.
And down goes AML. Solly to follow. Swak finds one. Left in a 1v3 though. It's a double for himself. Needs an ace if he wants to clutch this out 30 seconds. It's doable. Maybe not as possible as you would have liked. One player behind the bomb chassis. One down below and one in freezer. It is nigh impossible. Yep.
Corza's still probably going to be down below, and Kingzo finishes it off. Well, 3 angles to try and fight there. Doesn't find one of them. First round of the board for the Passion Stack. Big for them there.
First game going the way of the Passion Stack. A great way to get your name out there and start this series off. Obviously, this is a best of 3, so possibly 2 more maps to go. That being, if I remember correctly, I don't want to say what. Again, I'm just checking. I completely forgot. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be Clubhouse and Coastline. So don't go anywhere. We'll be bringing that to your screen in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Cheers. we're back, and again, unmuted. I remembered this time. I remembered. We're back for game
Nope.
2.
No more miming ourselves out yet. What's game 2 now? I believe it's Clubhouse, eh?
It is Clubhouse, and I actually forgot to set up the map, so take this one quick.
Oh, that's going to be a bit awkward. So to make sure that just to waste some time here for Kanye, who's forgetting to do things, let's put it this way. First map was not as one-sided as what many people thought it was going to be, and it was definitely not as one-sided as what the first match of the day was, but good map overall, extremely attacker-sided. But the Passion Stack in the end did manage to close it on their defensive half. So, is it still going to be like that on Clubhouse? Traditionally, slightly more balanced, tends to be a lot easier to attack than what the other maps do. So maybe, just maybe, we can see something big coming out of here on Regicid's attacking half as they go in here.
Okay, now I promise I remembered everything. Banner has been updated.
Also that.
So, Thatcher, first ban. Clubhouse, a lot of the times, a map where you'll see people banning out the Thatcher, one hard breacher, and wall breach denial. You've got CCTV wall, jacuzzi wall, down below in dirt. A lot of main walls that need to be opened up on this map. So a lot of the times you see those banned out. Thatcher, the first one to follow. It's a Jackal, quite interestingly. Did we see them use the Jackal at all?
Wasn't Jackal banned last game? Jackal was banned last game.
It was true.
Yeah. Again, I think Regicide just don't want to deal with his feet sniffer 9000 over there, but also Cade ban coming out. And I believe the last ban will be a mirror ban, fairly standard for what we tend to see. Or... Actually, I'm thinking... no, never mind, I'm going to stick with the mirror.
Oh, yeah. Almost went out, but you got it.
Almost. I just wish we could see some variance. Like, I enjoyed the variance earlier today, but at the same time, that match was so one-sided.
Variety is the spice of life. One of my favorite sayings that I learned recently, and I wish Siege teams would adopt it, man. A lot of the times you just see default lineup. Yeah, we got a Zofia, Habana, Thermite, maybe like I think an Ace Maverick. Yes, I'm throwing shade, but
But the thing is, okay, you've got to look at it from the player perspective and from everyone who's sitting there working the strats perspective. It doesn't make sense not to use the default because the default is the default for a reason.
This is true.
At the end of the day, Ubisoft have dictated and they said, this is how we want the game to be played. And that's how it's become.
Yeah. I really hope with the next few seasons that there will be change to this. So the reveal for the actual new operator has come out, so we can talk about that now. I'm no longer contractually binded. But, I mean, really, it was just within the next few seasons. I hope they add just a way to spice things up more. And one of the new things that are adding is the attacker repick, where after or during the drone phase still, the attacking team can repick their operators, choose a different operator in reaction to a defensive lineup. I actually want to get your input on that because I feel like for the defensive side, it is so debilitating. I mean, you pick something wild. What is a wild pick on a defense? Maybe a Cavero. Well, instantly the attacking side is going to pick into a Jackal.
Yeah, I think it's going to... It's going to help reduce this attack and defensive-sidedness that we've seen Siege have since day one.
Yeah.
Because now suddenly it means that it's extremely hard, excluding for the 6-pick, obviously, which I believe is still going to be hidden.
I don't know how that feature works. I don't know what...
Assuming the 6-pick is still going to be hidden, it means pocket strats are now going to become less effective now.
Yeah.
So... from the defenders, we're going to start seeing a lot more consistent stuff out of them, less trickery, and the attackers maybe starting to have more variance, starting to bring some stuff out.
Well then, just to rephrase and bring it back to this game, the wall's been opened, the Habana is working on garage walls, and the site is completely blown wide open. No kills just yet. Still, a few players playing down below in garage. I believe it's Newek joined down below by King SO. No, is it Causa? Well, Causa finds a kill.
Big kill there. That's actually the Maverick of the board, and Nivik finds the second kill into Saw. Big kills there. That's your vertical play got an Alvin the Buck as well. That means it's going to be down to the remaining members of Regicide to try and bring this back. But that's one of your hard breaches gone. But they won't be discouraged. They still got Sali and Swap running around, and they do have the breach open that they needed open in the first place.
Yeah, like, there are avenues onto the site, but without people to walk through the avenues, well, it's just a dead road. No vibe in this place.
At this point, they're less away into the site and more away for Nivik just to see where they're standing. But Sali does finally find Corza, and this means now it's suddenly looking slightly more winnable here, but still not a favorable situation for them. AML starting to get those kills that they need as well, but doesn't actually have the diffuser. Nivik is holding it, but Nivik hits Sali before... Oh, it was a trade, I see.
Nivik hits Sali before Sali hits Nivik. Perfect. The trade coming out. AML left to clutch. This is the LMGE. We've seen plays come out from this gun. 150 ammo in the retainer. 40 at that. Spots out the player, can't connect just yet. Though, the biggest problem about this gun is now you need to run away and reload, my friend. 40 seconds on the clock. Yes, you have the diffuser and an avenue onto the side, like we have pointed out, but it is just a dire situation. Interestingly, I don't believe he has impacts left. Gonna whip that out the pocket. Indeed, he does. So he's gonna be able to open up these verticals. Maybe spots out the bandit. Does about 50 HP of damage. But from the vertical, Mario finds that Le Passion stack. Again with the opener.
I'm sorry, I hate that LMG with a passion. It's... I know he didn't win the round with it, but that is, as you said, that 150 round mag has single-handedly got the ability to win you a round just by standing in the corner and looking at the same spot.
Yeah. But also,
that's just my personal gripe with it.
Ammo, you're screwed.
Yeah. But that's just my personal gripe with that LMG. Either way, big round there by the Passion stack. Big round there by Nivik actually getting also important kills, wasting a lot of their time. And as well, he kind of just said, well, you guys have made holes so you can move around and get in the site, get into the garage. I'm gonna just use them to kill you.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Going down below then?
Yeah, going down below this round. Moving on from that. I want to see what Corza does with this Caveira. You were speaking about it a little bit earlier. What do the attackers do when that Caveira comes out and they don't have a Jackal?
Especially when Regicide abandoned the Jackal.
He'd Sniffer 9000 off the board.
Or was it Le Passion? No, I'm getting confused between games. It was Nixa that played the Caveira.
Yeah, it was Nixa who played the Caveira.
It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen.
Had quite an interesting matchup earlier on. Not quite sure why that reinforcement is there. I don't really necessarily agree with it, but it is there, and they're going to be maybe looking to see what they can do with it. But I'm really looking to see how Regicide choose to clear this roam out. It isn't quite an SSG roam, but there is still that presence, and you do need to deal with it before it comes back to bite you in the butt.
So, Nixa playing the safer roam around kitchen area by the main stairs. Corza playing the very aggressive and completely isolated roam. We've seen him do this during his game yesterday versus Meraki. Back then he was playing the R6, an operator he used to quite some effect with the Rima dashes, jumping through walls, finding kills, finding players. The impact coming through. What is the PRB connects? And it's an early kill.
The Caveira's pistol, as we describe it. And Nivik finds the second kill there onto Saul. That's big kills. The question mark coming out from Corza there. We saw some of that coming around in the previous map. But Nivik just won't be stopped. But Panda finally puts him to an early grave. And this means now, even though there's only still 2 minutes left on the board, again, it's down to 2 players of Regicide to try and pull it back. And this time, they don't have an LMG to try and help them do that.
Sometimes overlooked, but I feel like the kills and the pressure coming out from early kills like that, you can't quantify it. Corza and Nixa getting those kills, you can't quantify the impact that has in a round. Maybe you can say, yes, that's the reason they won the round, but honestly, like, in my opinion, getting the opening kill, I believe the exact stat is it makes you... the team that wins that gets the opening pick wins the round about 60% of the time, if I'm referring to Pro League stats, but just getting the opening pick, getting one even after that is so influential, and getting even more when you can keep this going. What are you playing at, Corza?
Corza just isn't scared to swing anything, and now he's actually, I believe he's actually just fallen back. I'm not sure where he disappeared to, but Panna on an extremely low HP, he does see someone's toes there, but doesn't actually manage to get a kill with it. He's got 50 seconds left. That looks like roughly around 10 HP in a dream to try and do it with.
This shotgun is just so dangerous. Finds the kill on Corsa, yes, but 3 more to follow. What can you do?
He doesn't have the diffuser. He did forget the diffuser. That means he has to go for these kills. Gonna have to step into these crossfires, try and find, and Mario opens up the wall and finds him. The Passion Stack getting themselves into an early 2-0 advantage. Very, very reminiscent of what we saw last map. Welcome to Chili's, indeed.
Opens the angle, finds the kill. Perfect connection. The Passion Stack. We saw them on a cafe. Open with a banger. And then kind of start to falter. Will this be the same storyline?
Yeah. The thing is, they faltered a bit. But the question is, I don't even know how much of it was actually more of a falter and more of it just being that the map is being more attack, that these teams are being attacker-sided. But now suddenly it looks like the defense has got the advantage again.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what to expect anymore.
Well, Clubhouse truly, in my mind at least, defensive side. We can argue about that. I actually hope we do, because I have some strong opinions on Clubhouse, but to me at least, one of the most defensive side maps.
My opinion on it is more that's always been a more balanced map.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe a good defense is hard to break, but at the same time it does tend to be more balanced. Purely because, as well as an attacker, you're not having to deal with stuff like pixel corner that you would on Cafe, or having to try and deal with an elbow that what you would with on say Oregon.
I feel like
it comes pretty much down to, and the fact as well the meta on the map has been the same for God knows how long now.
I feel like there aren't as many strong positions. The bomb sites themselves aren't inherently as strong, but they are more comfortable, and having 3 very comfortable bomb sites is so useful. The spawn, is he ready for this? Does he check for it? No, he doesn't. He spots the head. Oh, but he doesn't connect fully. Only about 20 damage done?
Yeah, that was a singular bullet that hit him in the shoulder there, but he just finds him in the door.
Surely, after you have damage done onto yourself, you check for a second. Great refrag. Oh.
You see, that was from the door. I don't think he expected Nivik just to run to the door there like that, which got him absolutely killed. Yes, he got refragged, but now that's Maverick off the board. That's one of your hard breachers gone. That means if Sali dies an early death, you're in trouble.
Opting to fall on down, quite interestingly, on an extended roam Corsa. He's done this quite a lot, but with Niwek down, a player that's posted up a significant scoreline already on this map. How did they answer back? Well, with Corsa down below. Well, that's a nasty angle.
That's an angle you see get used a lot. The problem with that angle is that, let's say now in that time that you're running there, suddenly the site collapses. That's a very far way for you to run back to try and save your teammates. And as we're seeing here now, it's very easy to pinch them off. But Corsa hasn't died yet. But it's only a matter of time until Saul finally finds him, getting himself finally regicide, finding that man advantage they haven't had yet this map. Can they make it stick? Or the rest of Le Passion is suddenly going to tear it back? We've seen the rest of Le Passion being capable of making big plays here. Kings, I don't think he's even had an engagement yet this game. 0-0-0. So what can he do when he finally sees something up?
Stuck in position, the mute swings on through. And that is a very important opener, because they were feeling the pressure. That alleviates it. Now you can play freely, you can roam freely. Mario going for a little bit of a flank, and King SO connecting onto the main hard breacher. Sure, he's used as utility, but you want him to find some kills as RX just keeps it going. Saw down below, the player that was sent to go and isolate Corsa down below. Well, now he has to bring it back onto the bomb site. Jaeger from up top is going to make him feel a bit uncomfortable, but you truly can never feel comfortable in a 1v3 scenario when you are 2-0 down.
Right now, he's got a problem of... Regicide, I think they jumped the gun a little bit here, because they sent him downstairs to be ready for the post-plant, but they weren't even able to get the plant down. They jumped the gun. He should have been up there to help get the reflags so they could get the plant first. narrowly misses the shot there into Mario, but does find it in the end.
10
But this
seconds to
means
go.
now that 10 seconds left, it's going to be an extremely tall order to try and find the 2 remaining players.
Was
And, yeah,
inspired by
it
the
gets-
bandit. Wants to use a pistol of his own, but to no effect. Oh.
That was a nasty shot there. But yeah, I think Regicide just jumped the gun there. They got the original picks that they needed, but then they decided, okay, they sent him to set up for the post plant without actually getting, before they even finished the setup for the actual plant.
So, just to confirm, am I seeing this correctly? Yes, so this is Regicide's map pick. Cafe was Le Passion Stack's pick. Do we see Regicide coming into their own on their own map? Do we see Le Passion Stack again after an opening 3 rounds start to falter? It's the storyline we've mentioned, but I hope it plays out. Because, just like on Cafe,
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
this is just Le Passion Stack winning. They're just winning. I mean, sure, there is some tiny issues I want to point out in the previous round, where they sent the buck down below too early when he could have helped in the execution, where they weren't playing off one another, there were kills that meant nothing, but essentially it's just Le Passion Stack showing up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the Passion Stack showing up and not making a lot of the mistakes, because they were playing it right. Yes, maybe Rowan made a mistake going to that angle, but, you know, you'll never know what you can find if you don't do it, you know? And at the end of the day, it was a risk that he took it, he lost his gunfight when he tried to re-emerging from that spot. Didn't really matter, because Regicide just went and made a mistake of their own.
Locate and defuse the bomb.
So it's kind of like, I don't even know what to expect anymore, because up until now, until this match, everything was attacker side, and now suddenly we're seeing Le Passion Stack running away on the defense. So the question is their attacker side of dominance going to stay?
Swak, if he's not where, he's gonna get caught out by Causa. But Causa, not aware, apparently. He put 2 bullets into these little barricades, but Swak checking it, doing his due diligence, but on the main breach, more importantly, Pana almost losing his life. The breach has been opened, it does seem. So, pressure being felt on the bomb site, that forces Causa to rotate on back. But they're still stuck in these positions. The Gemini coming through, feeding some intel, realizing that there's no one in the bottom of Garage as well. No one playing Catwalk for some reason.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. They've got no one on Cat, but I don't think Regicide have realized it, because otherwise they would have taken that territory. AML does manage to find Causa, a big kill there. Although Causa hasn't been as impactful this game, gonna have to see what exactly he can still do from the sidelines. Maybe he can IGL his team to victory from this round. RX does find the ace though, Sadi. Big kill, and RX is now moving down into the oil pit. This can be very influential. If he times this right and catches them when they're moving up the stairs, this can be potential 2 kills, but Swak does check it.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Now they're
Meaning that
reeling.
Rafters is free territory.
They're left reeling after that death. RX down below. Niwek taking a bit of damage. They are feeling the attack coming from Catwalk. They've left it completely free for the taking. Now pushing up though. Niwek can't really do anything. King SO trying to find the kill onto the player on the breach, and indeed he does. Is this where they find the comeback? Here's the barbed wire being tapped on the main stairs, but he can't do anything. King SO left in a dire situation, but Regicide, hook, line, and sinker take that round. Is this the start of the comeback? I hope so.
Hopefully, for Regicide, they can get themselves to the 3-3 scoreline they're going to need here. Because the Passion Stack, yes, maybe they lost that round, but we saw how good their attacks were on Cafe. You don't want to go into there with a point deficit. You want to go there with as many points as you can and give yourself breathing room. So, the real question is, what can they do? Seeing some banter coming out here between the players of Regicide and the Passion Stack in the chat as well. A little bit interesting to read if you're trying to keep up with that in the chat.
So, I think the main thing Le Passion Stack, and more notably Causa, is trying to point out to them is,
Defenders
well,
protect
Le
your
Passion
bombs
Stack to
from
me are just
attackers.
confident. Confident not because they feel like they're better or have some sort of ego, because they kind of don't care, from what I've been able to suss out. They're going into this tournament genuinely not caring. They're here to play as a ranked team and just show everyone else that they're better. That's a great mindset to have, and I feel like that is one of the biggest reasons they've been able to win a lot of these rounds. Is them just saying, yeah, okay, we're playing to win. Not because of ego, not because of any little thing we want to prove to anyone or someone. They're just playing for themselves, playing to win as a team.
Yeah. No, they're playing purely with the idea that they just want to win here. They're confident in themselves. They have no reason. There's no reason as to why they should be losing any rounds or should be losing the matches. But as I say that, Nivik does actually get picked off early on by Swak. That's been a big kill there. Nivik actually, until now, has been having big rounds for his team. But Red started getting the early advantage for themselves there. Maybe something that they need to be able to get more and more rounds on the board for themselves.
Okay, my Uber Eats not here yet, so I can still witness this round. Of course, I'm playing top of garage storage. Being droned out, but he's opting to stick in this position. A choice that a lot of the times can be detrimental. But he's not sticking it, he is just playing it for time. Realizes, yes, they're going to push now, and then decides to fall back. The site's down below, so you can just fall back, peel back. Leave it to King SO inside of blue to answer back.
Did the Iana just run into that was the... Oh, okay. I was a little bit confused for a second there. Thought Iana just sprinted past him into the site. False alarm. Regicide is still trying to find a way in there. AML is actually going to start doing some work here. Maybe they can start to do something. I do see the other hatches have been opened up as well. The question is, can they force them out? Nades are going to start swinging out, and the nade does capitalize. Does get them the territory they need. Causa with a very long angle there, but it doesn't even look like Regicide are pushing that. It looks like they're pushing a completely different side.
And now I hope that we see one of the oldest takes in the book for down below in Church and Arsenal. Pushing down the main stairs and opening up the church wall. Something we don't see South African teams do nearly enough, but it seems like it doesn't even have to happen because they are just losing man after man on the main bomb site. RX left to maybe clutch it up. SMG-11 in hand. He's got a C4 in his back pocket. Sprays onto the first. Does find the connection. The nade sailing on past him. Almost finding the kill on a blinking health bar. This is terrible. There's the C4 you were looking for, but in a 1v3, 30 seconds left. This is just a tactical timeout, really.
Yeah, he's going to try and waste as much time as... I don't think he's going to go for it here.
Oh!
The problem is that he finds a one brilliant shot there. 2 more kills to try and find before he can take this. They're both down on the same level as him. The question is, can he find it? He's only got 20 seconds, 5 HP, and he doesn't actually know where they all are. He knows one's close, but he's just trying to find them.
Oh, finds one. There's one close. He does find it. He has time. He just won it.
He just gets that. What a play by RX. With 2 seconds left to spare. What a play.
I am in awe. I am truly in awe, and I think my neighbors are in shock because of my shouting.
Your neighbors think you've just been murdered in here, but that was a brilliant play there by RX. We said Regicide need to try and maximize their points there. They did everything right until the post plant, and then RX just said, no, I'm better than you. Give me my round. Give me my moment. And he did it.
He finds his moment in the spotlight. Truly. I mean, that was brilliant.
We said...
Yeah?
We said earlier, this is what you were talking about, where this is a team where every single player has the potential to just have this big moment. I think we just saw that.
That was his big moment. I mean, not that he's been lacking this game, but kind of this has been the storyline of Causa and Newek. Some rounds Mario came in clutch, some rounds King SO came in clutch, but I couldn't really think of one round where RX was the defining factor. He said, screw that. I'm 9-2 at this point in time in this game. I just won an incredible clutch. Screw you. I can also have my time in the spotlight.
And he does.
Yeah. Well then.
So.
A round like that, how far back does that set your mental?
A round like that? So, in our team, it was always kind of, we were like, oh, that was unfortunate, that was lucky of him, yada yada, it's fine, we'll fix it next round. But if you're on the side of the Passion Stack right now, in their DC, they're like, oh yeah, and in their heads, they're like, oh yeah, we're so much better than them, we've got this. So for Reg's side, it may not have been the confidence killer that a lot of people think that it would have been, but on the Passion Stack, that's a huge confidence boost they just got just from that.
There is a jubilation in 2 languages, in French and in English. I can only imagine the comms right now. But setting up from a more traditional and slower take, because right now you need to be sure of every single move that you make. You don't want to lose another round in that fashion, in that manner. Newek this time actually opting to play Catwalk, as well being joined by RX in lower Garage. But that doesn't even matter when King SO finds one from Garage Storage.
That's an opening kill there, another opening kill there from him. And that means now, again, Regicide finding themselves at a man disadvantage, where they've been finding themselves in every single round except for one this game on the earned entry. Hasn't been going well for them. Can they bring it back? The question is now for me, when does AML start going big? We know from the past as a player, we've seen him go big. He's on Zofia, he's comfortable, he's got the LMG. He just needs to start getting those kills in his favor. And maybe suddenly he could turn it around for his team here.
They're taking it slow. Oddly slow. They haven't taken control of anything in the map yet. You know, sometimes when around like that, you lose it from your grasp, and you feel like, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. You take the next round slower. This is way too slow in my opinion. 1 minute 10 on the clock, and now only you get into the site. Not even the site, onto the map.
1 minute 10 and you're still trying to get your way into the building. They haven't got any of the territory they need. They're getting contested from multiple angles now. And there we go. There's another angle that shouldn't have been opened, and Nivik seals the deal. This is like you were saying. They took incredibly slowly. They were incredibly slow there. They opened up the territory, but didn't take the territory, and then those angles got used against them.
I know
so the question
you said, from your perspective, when something like the round 2 rounds ago, when RX clutched happens, it's not that big of a hit. But when the following round is a flawless round, and you didn't even get onto the map, I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. You're feeling that one.
That's a big hit. And let me say as well, my experience was with a team of drop shots and Prime Ergo and Prime Cannibals and all of them. So as well, there was a lot more of a different mindset than what a lot of the other players have, and the general vibe is always happy, even if there's a loss. There's always a sunshine and rainbows somewhere. So maybe other teams, it does impact them a lot more than it does us. That did us back then.
The one big mentality shift, though, is the side swap, in my experience.
Yeah, that does tend to be a mentality switch, because as well, it provides a breather from suddenly now consistently having to charge into the same thing head first every single time. Suddenly you have a breather, you've got a minute before you actually have to take any engagements. And you can think, it allows you to also change your mentality, the way you're thinking. So for Regicide, this is going to be a big round here. Otherwise, they're in trouble, because if the Passion Stack takes that match point, I don't think it's going to be long before they close it out. So Regicide needs to start that comeback, and they need to start it now.
Yeah, so theoretically speaking, there are still 2 rounds of leeway for Regicide. If they lose this next one, still a chance. Not a big one, not a good one, but a chance. This is really where the rubber needs to hit the road, and where they need to come in clutch and win this round. Interestingly, here you see the strategy of just shooting out some of the soft wall to deny the Maverick from being able to trick. That doesn't even matter. They only want a kill from that position. RX finds it, as he has been finding kill after kill after kill in this game.
That's an old trick in the book there, where you open the angle, and then instead of just leaving it open, you have someone, as the angle opens, looking directly through there to see. You will, 9 times out of 10, you should win that gunfight, because you'll actually see them before they see you, because they'll still have like a little particle effects on their screen. So very well played by them, as well by doing that. As well, that means now the bandit batteries are gone, or well, in this case, I don't believe there was even anything. Oh, the mute channels on the wall. Oh, but Swak leans awkwardly wrong the way there. Causa finding a big kill there. Putting his team onto a 2-man advantage here now.
Ready maybe emotionally, but not physically. Not ready for that shot. From down below, the pressure is being felt and the plant on site is coming down. Do you have anything to deny? No. Well, you do have one C4, but it's off site. And the only player on site isn't even close enough to put up a fight. Falling by the wayside now as another flawless round.
I am confused as to how that plant got down and Mute didn't seem aware to it. Because Mute was still sitting around looking down below instead of coming in to help with the retake.
This in my mind
But
is
on
just
that-
over.
Yeah, on
I'm
that
sorry,
note-
but yeah.
The Passion Stack have got themselves in the 6-1 advantage here. It doesn't look like their attacks are slowing down. We're seeing the same trend we saw from Cafe where they've got their attacks sorted. Regicide, what are you going to do? You've got no room for error now. If you want to keep yourself in this tournament, in the shot of that prize at the end of the tournament, how are you going to win 5 rounds in a row to get it just to overtime? Never mind even a victory.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
I'm sorry, like, I know Regicide is a respected team. They've done incredible things in the past under the Phoenix banner, but this is genuinely almost impossible. As close to impossible as anything gets.
I have my little theory as to that, but I'll
Oh, please
leave
do.
it for another
Please
day.
do
Oh,
explain.
must I say it now?
Please do
I
explain.
think they've lost 2 of the very important core members of the roster.
Yeah.
So they've lost, I believe it's Clout who went to Bravado,
Yes.
and they've also lost, on the other side now, they've also lost, I don't remember what his name was now.
Before insertion.
He retired. The name has slipped my mind entirely now. I had it there a second ago.
Yes, the Twitter man. That's all I know
Yeah,
about.
the Twitter man. I'm trying to remember his name.
Solly? No, wait, Solly's in here.
No, not Solly. Solly's playing. I'm trying to remember his name now.
Okay, well, that doesn't matter because
It'll
he's
come
not
to
in
me.
this lobby. He is not contributing at this point in time.
He was actually the former captain. He had a big role to play there. Even if he didn't always have the most impactful kill counts, being the leader of your team and suddenly losing that leader, it can have a big impact on the team. That's been my theory as to why we've seen this decreased performance on them since then, but maybe only time will tell if that's really the case.
The Passion Stack, you've got about a minute and a half before my Uber Eats driver arrives at my house. Can you finish this game before then? Well, they are trying to. Quasar finds the first onto Swak. 4 more to find. 4 more standing in the way of them and heading into the grand final tomorrow to face off against Nixa. Seems they are completely aware of Aguayo on the other side of the wall. He's going to torch it out, and Niwek is going to try and assist. They find so much damage onto Saw that he is left reeling. He's going to stick in this position, though, not falling back.
He's still trying to waste as much time as possible. As long as he's alive in there, that makes their lives very difficult. It makes it they can't actually push him, but he's slowly just backing his way out of there. He's done a lot of his job. He's wasted a lot of time. Question is now, is Quasar actually going to be able to snake his way up these stairs without anyone hearing him?
More importantly, I believe he could find kills with his frag grenades in back pocket. Are they aware? I'm going to try and pan over to players who might be in that position. They fall one after the other before I can even swap to their POV. It's just AML from below. He finds a bit of damage onto Nuik, but truly, this is it. Le Passion Stack will be facing off against Nixa tomorrow in the grand final of the SSA R6 League seeding tournament for the 2,000 Rand grand prize. Plants going down, it is merely but a formality at this point.
Yeah. AML finding one, don't think it'll be a clutch though. The problem for trying to clutch this now is it's really not an optimal situation. But we'll see, maybe he does pull it off. We have seen weirder clutches come out in the past. We even saw a big clutch coming out earlier. The Maverick is aware of his position though, but AML times it perfectly as he runs around. But Kingzo does close it out.
That is GG's in chat as an incredible game comes to a close. Le Passion Stack, 7-1-7-4. It seems like here on Clubhouse, even though it was Regicide's map pick, at some point they just broke. Their mentality, their way of play, their coordination, everything just fell to the ground. And really, Just well done to the Passion Stack.
Yeah, great gameplay there by the Passion Stack. I believe that means tomorrow they play Nixa in the grand final.
Indeed. A very important
If
game
they play
tomorrow.
like how they just played, I think we could be in for a proper grand final there.
That to come tomorrow. We will confirm the exact time in the R6 SSA Discord. Please feel free to join there. I believe the link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.